The streets of Salem were a terrifying sight. The witches dancing with the demons in the night. Their evil minions watch the town while it's in bed. Wish 'em dead, wish 'em dead, wish 'em dead. Old Reverend Paris knew that something was amiss. He felt the evil from a spiritual abyss. He knew the time had come to purify the town. Hunt 'em down, hunt 'em down, hunt 'em down. No time was wasted in assembling a squad. This pitchfork army on a mission sent from God. No witch was saved from Reverend Paris's brigade. Their crusade, their crusade, their crusade. Call the magistrate and don't you wait another minute, 'cause this town is going to hell if we don't put away the sinning. And we got no time to let a jury have their turn. Let 'em burn, let 'em burn, let 'em burn. The damned were crammed into a carriage on the square. Their faces battered and their bodies all were bare. The Reverend led them to an isolated hill. Time to kill, time to kill, time to kill. One by one their necks were snapped beneath the cedar tree. The spirits vanished and the demons all were free. They dug a hole to hold the devilish remains. They were slain, they were slain, they were slain. The town was safe from all those wicked dissidents. They could continue with their life of innocence, dispensing justice from a higher power. They built a church atop the spirits and the bones. Their moans were heard as they were laying down the stones. But the witches got revenge beneath that steeple bell. They cast a spell, sent the Reverend to hell.
All right. Whether we're on time or we're late, I'm not sure, but we'll find out. So here we go. So welcome, one and all that have come here to watch the shenanigans. And, yep. So aboard here, I have Xxiled here with me. And
Hello.
how are you doing today?
I'm good. My face hurts from laughing at that. You did that just to make me laugh, didn't you?
I did, because you thought it was too funny. So I was like, oh, we got to bring back the dancing minnow.
I was laughing my ass off. Oh, thank you. I need that.
Yep, you gotta laugh about stuff, because if you don't, it's just sad. You'll cry. So
Yeah, it's true. I was like, poor minute. They're after her. They're all gang piling on, gang stalking her, and that sort of thing. And she's just like flip, 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 flip.
Well, I think it's funny too. Like, I think it was the Mr. Serious one that really caught my attention. Like, it's just like she just happened to have a ballerina thing handy. I'm like,
Oh God, how suspicious. That's
totally. So sus.
You're paranoid. Oh my God.
So I don't know what's more like crazy right now, Twitter or these streams that we've been watching.
I think the streams are probably because I can't see the Twitter. The Twitter is just a mystery to me anymore. I just don't even look.
It's just too much. It's too overwhelming. Abandon ship.
Yeah, half of them I have blocked. And Minokini. No, I didn't see the Minokini math pig.
Minokini math pig. I need to make a ballet where they dance together.
Oh my God. So if we just put a top on the minnow, it would be a Minokini probably.
Right?
I'll have to check it out. Oh, Math Pig says, hi, Steve. I don't know if Steve's here. Probably has me blocked if he's here.
Block a Zulu. Yeah, usually he'll send them minions, and then he'll be like, go forth and tell me what happened, but then be like, don't fucking talk to me about them. But, you know he gets an update, right? Yeah.
They have approach avoidance issues with us.
Yeah.
No, she didn't. She put on a swimsuit.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah.
I bet it looked good, too. She's a really nice person.
Yeah, she seems pretty cool. It's a shame that these idiots are after her. Oh, wait, did I share the wrong screen? I did share the wrong screen. Let me fix this.
I just hope they lose interest eventually.
They probably will. I shared the wrong thing.
They never did with Sinister Porpoise, so, I mean, like, they hold a grudge.
Yeah, well, Sinister Porpoise did, like, make, like, a weekly stream at a certain point. So,
yeah, that's true. I forgot. Yeah, she was good.
It's only fair to start this off by watching another fail at singing, because why not?
Oh, yeah? There's somebody else stepped up to the plate?
Yep. We should start a support group of victims of DM sharing. DM crisis support. Oh, my God. They shared my DMs. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
All right, let's see here. So, we've heard,
okay,
Red sing, but have you heard Cheshire sing?
No, let's hear it.
Joyless, 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 joyless. I'm begging of you, please don't sue my ass. Joyless.
That line is funny, considering.
Joyless. Please don't copy strike this, cause it's crass. Your Twitter is beyond compare with flaming lies. Can't help but stare, play victim and aggressor with lips.
She does not know how to write lyrics, apparently.
Your smile is always semi-cocked. Well, you pay off uni-rock, and I cannot compete with you. Joyless.
Cha-ching.
You cry harassment in your sleep, and there's nothing I can do but keep from laughing when we change our tune. Joyless. And I can easily understand how you would sue McRae again, but you forget that you're part of the press. Joyless. Joyless, 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 joyless. I'm begging of you, take your email back. Joyless, 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 joyless. Please stop your actions. since they
I love
cause
it.
you flack. You could have your choice of suits, but I could never stand to lose. I don't have the cash for this. Joyless.
That's okay, Manya will help you.
Yeah.
I've had to have this.
We lost viewers. They're like,
They're
yeah, we watched all the shit, but the singing we're gonna stop.
We're gonna move along, but so let's move it along, guys.
It's almost done, I think.
I'm begging of you, please go suck a cock.
That's what you say to someone that's like talking about harassment, right? Suck a cock? That's sweet.
Joyless. Please go suck it hard behind your block.
That was a stat. That was really, really good. I really think that was amazing. Did we
You
get
think
around
so?
to
Do you
the
think she's
pause?
gonna win? Yeah, win the idol competition?
Yeah,
She's a little bit
win
late.
it. Woohoo.
I like how, like, you know, when it does the harmonizing part, there's like multiple Cheshire singing at once. I'm like, whoa. I just imagine if there were multiple. Oh my God.
Joy.
She chooses to sing about a song about a woman who cannot keep a man.
Hey,
Oh, man.
Trio. Hey, Globus. Big Zebra. Math Pig. Lucifer Almighty. Donna.
Shout out in the chat if you survived that. Appreciate you. So,
Type 1 in the chat if you survived. Hey, Lash. Daylo Blue.
big zebra. Right. All right. So we're going to review
What's that for us tonight?
we're going to review Cheshire and of course, right? Her Dumb Feck Friday. And here we go. So let me share the screen. Do.
Yeah,
Hello.
Anon survived. Good job, Anon. We all did it. We did it together.
All right. So this stream is 4 hours long. So either we're going to have to do increments of this or we're just going to have to skip around because this is just ridiculous. It's just too long.
Where's the part where she gets really mad? That's the part I want.
Oh, I don't know.
Beach and Roland are there. Brian says hi too. You heard me say Beach.
Christopher Mounty is here.
No.
Yes.
Hello, sir. Good to see you. Happy birthday.
Say it's your birthday. All right. So I guess I'll hit play on this thing. Here we go. Woo.
Things got out of hand.
We did get out of hand.
Real fast. And I'm kind of glad I didn't join in on the conversation on last week because I took the time. I wanted to see all of what was being said before jumping in, and also I was busy. I was out with family last week, and that was lovely. So I spent a couple of days watching everything and
believe
looking
her.
through. I didn't take notes because I do want.
But she doesn't have family?
I'm not
That
gonna
it was
go ahead
lovely.
and start correcting all of everything that was wrong.
Something about a bee
because
sting.
There's a lot. Now, I am willing to do so, but I'm only willing to do so if, like, there's so much to go through, and it's just
There's
not
so much to fix after
viable
Manya fucked it
for
up.
me to do that unless, like, there's actually some
Essentially,
commitment,
that's what she's doing.
What's the accountability? I believe integrity on the other side of this.
Funny what she
conversation.
says
So,
that.
Unless
she
she's
has none.
willing to get back to me, and
Integrity?
we can sort of set up a time.
Yeah.
and we can do a.
I am an
couple
honorable
of
goblin with the most integrity.
and we'll go and pause and go and pause, and I'll be like,
An
okay,
honorable
you got
troll.
this wrong.
Hello,
Here's
Les.
how. Here's what was wrong about it. Do you have questions? And that was one of the things that I noticed in her talk with Steve, was that Steve's like, hey, do you have any questions? And she's like, no, I don't have any. Okay. Well,
Who are you
basically
friends
there's
with?
been no retraction. There's no corrections. She seems to think that if you're wrong on something, you should take it down. But her videos are all still up, so there's been no correction on that end. But I'm gonna go through this backwards. So I watched everything go down, and now I'm gonna go backwards because there seems to be some serious disconnect between what happened here and what's going on over here. So we're gonna start with the Twitter because that's been the most recent. I'm not
Spit
diving
away,
into her videos to see,
Cheshire.
like, what else is going
Hello,
on or
HD.
through whatever conversations she's having elsewhere. I'm only going to look at what she's been saying in stuff that I'm tagged in. I'm not doing a full deep dive on this because I don't care to deep dive. It's a waste of my
A
time.
deep dive on this.
I also
Oh
will
my
then
God.
go and look at her. I'm going to go back in order. So we'll go from Twitter to the live
That's
stream of
hilarious.
500 viewers. Then we'll jump back to her conversation with Manya and Steve, because there seems to be, she's saying a lot of things about how that conversation went down, and I want to look at what she said, and then I want to look at the video to see if, what that disconnect might be. So
Okay.
ooh,
Anything you say, hun. Sure. Okay.
let's start here.
Hey,
So I just
thanks.
said, while I'm all caught up on Savage Minnow's videos, and oh boy, I've heard that Manya and Steve were way nice, so I'm on that video now. Wish me luck, but so far, big oof.
Yeah. How dare you
there's
be
a lot wrong in
nice?
those videos.
If the
Like I
goblin
said,
was there, this
there's
would have
too
gone
much to go
differently
here.
right
Her
off
was
the bat.
incorrect, but I'm
Yeah.
more than
Let me
happy,
translate
kind
for
of,
you.
to have that
This is
discussion if she
person
decides that she wants
enemy
to have that
number
discussion. If not,
1,
I
and
don't
I'm
care to
going
bother
to
her
get
on
her.
most of it, because
That's
Right?
basically what she's saying. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. This person is evil. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something absolutely sinister about her, suspect about her right from the get-go, and we're about to be paranoid out of our brains and show you how we can do that while pretending to be perfectly rational and sane and not pulling it off. But anyway,
it's just,
hey, Pooh.
if you want correct
Pookie.
information, read the docket. Read the docket.
What's
Ash
a
had said,
docket?
I was drunk, so I might have missed something, but it seemed that they suddenly reversed their beliefs on everything. 1 second McCrazy, next second correct number of fingers and toes. Letty had said, hopefully they notice how hard the people giving them information have tried to manipulate them by choice words and sleight of hand. I encourage you to go dig for yourself if you want the truth. There are lots of trolls on all sides, but I won't say which side is worse because, well, this is Twitter, LOL. Fair enough. Nobody's forcing you or asking, but there's a bit of a problem when you start diving into both sides stuff.
Hi,
When
science
you've got
first.
one side accusing the other of murdering their friend, and the other side's response is, "No, I
We
fucking
have a
didn't. That's gross.
problem
Why would you
with
say that?"
people who
Yeah, like,
don't
this is
fight on
clearly not
Twitter.
an even playing field, right?
If you don't fight on Twitter, you're just not in the fight. I just like, we got to fight on Twitter. It's all about the Twitter. Yeah. If you didn't tweet, you didn't do anything. If you tweeted, then we definitely marked it down in our notepads. This is
And you
them.
have
This is
to
where they
tweet.
fight.
You have to tweet to say, for the people and the trolls that you aren't related to, you have to tweet and forsake them in your tweet and be like, I don't know that guy. Otherwise, you were part of it, right? But then if you tweet to say that you're not with that person, that's a random troll, they will also say, nuh-uh, you are. It's just for show, right? Like, it's like, or you have to tweet, but, like, they have you blocked. So, like, your tweeting is in vain. Scream into the void.
Something highly unusual happened this week. Manya went into a Discord with other people and actually interacted with them. So, like, we're a little bit traumatized at the moment.
Ugh.
You know what I mean? It didn't happen all on Twitter. So we're like, what? What the heck? What's going on? We
Right.
need Cheshire to explain to us everything that just happened. Otherwise, somebody might be out of the loop. Hey, Savage. How you doing, Minnow?
Savage is in the house. Welcome, welcome. If you end up wanting to pop in, oftentimes, if the focus is about the person, we let that person join the stream. Since she's going through your shit, Savage, you can pop in if you'd like. So, yeah, the Twitter rope-a-dope, damned if you respond, damn if you do. Right?
If you don't
a trap.
respond, we're just going to make up stories about you and tell everybody about you behind the scenes. Give them a big song and dance. Yeah. Anyway.
AT2 Productions in chat says, Can't say I'm surprised. Seems to be a growing number of people that live in the if you're wrong, stay wrong mentality.
I'm sorry. It's like, can you have Ilya Moon please hold up her thumb in front of her dentist's office to prove she has cancer again? Thank you.
Yeah, the only
That
way
would-
we'll believe it if there's a thumb in the picture. Okay.
If she's in front of her dentist's office and holds up a picture of her thumb with the dentist's office sign, that's the only way we know she has cancer and her receipts are valid. That's Jared. Okay.
They're behaving in what way. If Savage has seen somebody who appears to be like one of Steve's friends doing this, I encourage you to show that and be specific so that way we can kick them the fuck out, because none of us want to hang out with people that are pulling shit like that. And Ash responds, what, I didn't just show up last week. These lunatics have spent years claiming to have receipts that show that Steve is X or Y, and every single time I either check them and they're bullshit or asking them for the result in just a dead air. I noticed you also get a lot of like circle, like dancing around where it's just like, okay, show me that. Where is it? And then they just don't. I only have a 6-hour video hanging out waiting for somebody. I only have a 16-hour video hanging out waiting for somebody to show me what it is they said they wanted to show me. So it's not like there's no evidence of this.
Did she just say a 16-hour video?
I don't even know what she's talking about. She's reading tweets, and I guess everybody's following along because they're on Twitter.
Okay.
All
Or
these people
gaslighting and
can
malicious
see.
reasoning over the years. You know, it's out there. Here's a soundbite. Steve deleted.
By the way, shout out to Ash Attack. Ash Attack, Ashley, whatever you are. Now you're Ashtray. We think that name really suits you. So good job picking that name.
Other people's tweets. The context doesn't matter. I know someone's intent. What I've said is the case until you prove it's not. Guilt by association. Yeah, all that good shit. Steve responded saying, I love how they always say, go do your own research, yet they discount the hundreds, thousands who have all reached the conclusion those shitlords are fucking insane pieces of human fecal matter who gang stalk and smear people for their own enjoyment as they are psychopaths.
Which one of them is Matt Baer? I'm just curious. And if anybody can tell me, let me know. Which one of these sock accounts is Matt Baer, who showed up around September 2019?
Probably Intrigue Fiend Lane.
I think so, too. I don't know why.
That's a theory. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
I agree. Let's just pretend it is. Hi, Matt. No, I'm just kidding.
Fair enough.
Twitter.
Oh, hey, congratulations.
But I can't go into voice chats.
Thanks, Helios. I don't understand. I encourage you to dig for yourself if you want the truth, but you didn't provide a link. Like, you didn't provide, and you just said, go look for it. And it's like, okay, where? Like, you would think it would be good to give people a starting
Later,
point,
Matt.
right? Is it just vaguely saying, go, then not read the dockets? There's a big question mark as to, like, your credibility to what you're saying about the non sequitur showcase. Which, by the way, I noticed in your videos you didn't actually talk about very much. Your video about Kyle was talking about Steve. Your video about Steve was talking about a guy named Warden who had nothing to do with non sequitur and is completely unrelated. Like, it has nothing to do with non sequitur. And then your video about KJ only briefly touched on that and still got stuff wrong about what had gone on between Steve and KJ. And you got what Steve is suing KJ over wrong. Like, these are just all things that were just wrong. I also have a very big question mark as to how in the flying fuck you could do a non sequitur show deep dive series and not do a video on Boole. Now, I know you mentioned Boole in one of the videos, but at the same...
Bull shows up and pushes buttons. That's what he did. And sometimes he had like a herpaderp thing to say that wasn't usually very contributing. And then you go, oh, Bull. And then they continue on with the show. That's basically what he did.
Time, it sounded like you confused Boole and Reds, who are different people. I'm not sure if you did. It was just unclear. Like, a lot of your video was unclear. I would recommend, as somebody who also does live streams and also does videos, that if you're going to do a deep dive like this, it's very easy to get distracted. It's very easy to go on a tangent when you're live. I would recommend making it a video so you can edit it and you can script it, or at least make it a script so that way you're not trying to follow point by. You've got a script.
I have a new idea. She could just do what she's doing. How's that? She could just do it the way she's doing it. It's working out fine for her. So there you go. That's the other idea.
I just love how she's talking about how Minnow needs to make coherent videos that make sense and orderly. And after we saw the web video that she created and what a clusterfuck that was and what a fail that was, like, okay, yeah, you show Minnow how to make a video that makes sense.
Kellyanne Conway. That's what Tyler's like. She's Kellyanne Conway. She's making shit up. Pretty soon she'll be talking about how she should microwave her food just so she can hear what other people are saying about her.
What?
Through the microwave.
It doesn't mean that you have to stay on script 100%. It just means that you have something a little bit more clear to follow along. So it's a little bit easier for people to understand what you're saying.
You could also just jump around from channel to channel talking shit about
said,
people, and that way they can't keep track of what you're saying.
On Steve's stream and was blaming Jimmy for her distrust against Steve? ? Oh, we'll get there.
Oh, we'll get there. Drinks tea.
So the second half of this, I discussed them with an attorney. An attorney would still be a second party, unless you were talking to Steve's attorney. So if you were either talking to Ruhif or if you were talking to Steve's lawyer.
Ruhif's not an
Steve's lawyer
attorney.
firm, which I doubt they would talk to you. I mean, Ruhif might talk to you. I mean, not right now.
Ruhif's not an attorney.
Did she just conflate?
Did she just call Ruhif an attorney? He's not an
power
attorney.
of attorney, right? But that's not an attorney.
Yeah, apparently you can't even be a power of attorney for somebody in the United States if you're in Australia. I don't know. I guess it just doesn't matter. Yeah. As long as you're going after Katie Joy, it doesn't matter.
Savage Minnow's unasked advice. This is what you need to do, Savage.
You can just get on and process things on your channel the way you want to. That's the other option, other outside than what she's suggesting.
Away. But whichever you want a primary source, whichever attorney you spoke to was not a primary source, because we know Kyle doesn't have a lawyer. So the only source you could possibly get was Steve's lawyer if you wanted a primary source. Right? So it doesn't even matter what attorney you spoke to. It's still not primary. It's still an interpretation of the dockets by an outside attorney. Now that might have some credibility. That would depend on which attorney you were talking to. So you're gonna have to do like your own research on that attorney, right? So there's a big difference between fucking Nate, who we've covered.
Savage Minnow, do you know what she's talking about when she says the dockets? Were the dockets something that you were looking at, or were you looking at actual court documents? Because dockets has a particular meaning. But okay, she doesn't know legal terms. She says dockets, but there's only one and it takes 30 seconds. She means exhibits. Okay. Have you looked at the exhibits? Bet you have. Or documents, maybe?
She doesn't know the legal term. She says dockets, but there's only one. And
One
it
docket.
takes 30 seconds. She means exhibits.
Yeah. Okay, so just replace the word documents and exhibits with what she's saying here. She's also saying it while saying Savage Minute doesn't know anything about the dockets, right? That's kind of funny. But anyway, just so just keep that in mind. Dockets is basically the scheduling of court appearances, I think.
And like OBT lawyer, who I would trust because he's got integrity and a history. And
Wait. She said that she couldn't look into an outside lawyer, but OPT lawyer is okay, even though he's interpreting everything and he's not actually the lawyer.
Or
really?
biased.
accountability, right? And you notice that OBT goes out of his way to stay the fuck away from Nate. I wonder why. I'm not sure. Who knows? So if You want people. You went on for went on for
Jeez.
I don't even know how a considerable amount of time.
I think it's
in
the,
her
the
Katie Joy
dog's
video
ball
talking
you're
about
hearing in the
verifying
background.
sources, and that is very, very important to verify sources. How can anyone verify your sources when you're not providing the information? Right? You've said, I'm not asking who your source is. I'm asking how you verified your source. Like, what is your process for verifying a source? Right? And what information did you get from them? Right? So if you got information that was like, oh, Steve, medical, whatever. Okay, what did they tell you? That's the whole point of having a source, is that you can say that, hey, I had a source that said this. Okay, well, what did they say? And where did that information come from? You're complaining about primary sources, right? So
Exactly, Fiona. Like, if it's not an approved lawyer, then it doesn't count. Exactly. Nar, I don't know why she considers herself an educator. Yeah, that is a good question. I don't know. Yep. Yeah. I think OPT lawyer stays away from Nate because Nate's scary to him.
I think
what
Emily
was
Baker
the primary
stays-
source that you got?
Emily? Is Emily scary to him too?
No. It was Michael. Michael, what's his name? Kate, Taddy's lawyer. What was his name?
Salty?
Michael Saltz stays away from Cheshire for a reason. She did. I heard she did try to get him to represent her.
Ew.
I don't know. Somebody might be suing her.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know.
From your
That's what
sources,
I heard.
or from the people who are giving you information.
Maybe
right?
we'll get another song about
There's
it.
just a big honking question mark that is this. I would love to get a statement from you too, but only as a primary source. About what? About what? Feline is somebody who has been following and who has done a lot of research and spoken to a lot of people on
to
Steve's
know.
side, and
You should trust Feline. Feline won't get in voice chat with you or on camera, but trust Feline.
He
We
could
don't
be
really know
anybody.
who Feline is. We have theories. But
Trust
trust
him.
Feline. In fact,
Trust
Feline has
him.
some mods in areas where, like, we don't know why, but, like, they trust him.
Yeah, he's a good person. Just
It's
ask
them.
me.
Her, him, I don't know. Feline. It's a cat.
against Steve. So what, a primary source about what? About her research, or his research, their research, or about their interactions, or about their, like, here's the primary source of the law that I looked up to verify service in the non sequitur showcase. Because one of the things is like you spent very little, if no time, talking about the non sequitur showcase at all during your videos.
Bingo.
But we'll get there.
Bingo. You
Unicorn for
win.
5 said, "Don't worry, she will definitely spread Steve's private DMs, but won't reveal the attorney's name because double standards." I don't care what the attorney's name is. You can not important. It doesn't matter. What information you got from that attorney does matter, because all you said was, "I've read the docs and discussed them with an attorney," and came to what conclusion? And came to what conclusion? What did the attorney tell you? You're you're saying you have a source, but not giving out the information about what you're talking about. You're just saying, I did research, but it's such a vague term. It's like, I don't want to, don't make me defend Katie Joy, all right? Just don't make me defend Katie Joy.
How hard is it to just
do it.
explain what's going on with the non
Darsh
sequitur
405
show
said her deep dive
and move on? I just don't understand. She knows so much about it. She can just explain it. Would probably take about 5-10 minutes at most. And then she would have educated the person in question. Yeah. But she won't do that. She will not do that this entire stream. And I guess it's 4 hours long. So.
was into a kiddie pool, not a real pool.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. This
got
just
some
turns
serious
into
bedhead
you
going on.
said you didn't read the dockets. You said you did read the dockets. The things that you've gotten wrong about the case have been in the information that is in the docket. And there's a lot of stuff that was not spoken of that you would expect to see spoken of in a video about the non sequitur show and the non sequitur show case. So, big confusion. I tried to listen to Chesh's playlist, as I told you on Steve's show. Well, not quite what you said, but I'm not gonna pick on that. I can't really listen to them because of an auditory issue I have with her streams. Oh, so you don't necessarily have an auditory issue, you just don't live in my audio.
Intrigued
Okay,
feline.
I don't really care. But I went and
Barry,
looked at the
not
documents
Bell.
myself.
Bear.
Good. Again, you should know since we talked about it when you were there. Who are you? Oh, wait, who is this in response to? Me? Manya? Sorry, Twitter's being a little unclear. Let's just click on it. Manya. Ah, okay, so this was in response to Manya. Alright. You didn't make that clear on Steve's video, but we'll get to that. We'll see. Let's take it to put.
Here's
put,
the
like,
expert
put pins. We're gonna
on
take
the
a pin,
non
we're gonna put a pin in that
sequitur
and say,
show court case.
you said you had an
and
auditory issue.
it's like a
about
game of
listening to my
guessing game. It's a guessing game. It's like, haha, you didn't know, and you didn't know this, and guess what? You didn't ask the appropriate person about these things, and this and that and this. But like, she's not spelling out what's going on in the non sequitur showcase at all. She's just chipping away at a human here. That's all she does.
playlist. But you said that you talked about that on stream and that you looked into the docket yourself. Okay. Note. Yeah. Oh no. I totally get my audio. Is definitely it gets like clicks and puck and I got my oven mitt at least. Come on, I'm doing my best. I don't have. Sadly, I do not have an arm.
Oh, it made that
Maybe
noise
somebody
again.
will send me one day. Maybe Minnow will send me one. Since
That
she is
booming
so
noise? Yeah, that's
interested.
her making that noise.
But yeah, no, you don't have to watch
She
my
hits-
videos
hits
to
the-
understand what's going on with
whatever
non-sequitur.
the-
Most
she
of the
needs a
stuff
shock
that Minnow
mount.
got wrong is stuff that is
Get
public
shock mount.
information that's not even difficult to find. If you really wanted to know what has gone on with the non sequitur show, then there's probably maybe 3 videos you need to watch, and then the dockets. So the video I would recommend is you need to watch the Death of Non Sequitur show.
She does that a lot. When I
then you
have
need to
my
watch the video
earbuds
that
in,
happened
it's
while the
worse
live
than when
stream
I have
happened,
my
right
other
after
mic
that
on.
Video, so the one where Shannon comes in, watch that one. Then watch like the Kyle stream on Non Sequitur show about that, and then read the court documentation. If you want to know what has happened, those are the 4 things you would need to look at, right?
Well, see, there we go.
That's
there
what
we
I
go.
would recommend.
Thank you. That was hard, wasn't it? Okay.
So that was this was sort of the
I'm
conversation
guessing
that was going on. I know
Savage
there was a
Minnow
few
has
other
already seen all
claims.
that.
Probably, yeah. So she has her recommended viewing. I mean, sometime I guess we could review that. Their recommended viewing. But yeah,
That
which most of us have seen. But yeah,
went down. Give me 1 second to see if I can. I don't. I just want to make sure I saw everything. I don't want to like take anything out of context. Here we go.
Don't miss a tweet.
In response to Ash saying that she's been here for a long time, and then being kind of dismissive to ignore that Ash has been here the whole time.
You might die if you miss
They
a
said,
tweet.
I didn't just show up last week either. Even
Ash
though
is
Steve
pretty
seems to think
horrible.
I did. It's interesting. At first I thought you were talking about people defending Steve, because that's literally the response I got from most of them. Again, I don't care about trolls, I wanted facts. What? Unicorn says, I think she wanted to talk about people related to the non sequitur showcase. She chose to give Kyle a lot of charity by not talking about his felonious past, but decided to do a hit piece on Steve because she felt ghosted. That could be the case. I don't know. She did very much leave out. She made it very clear that she did not want to speak on Kyle's drug issues, which is fine. It's your channel. You talk about whatever you want. And you can decide to not talk about a specific aspect of somebody if you don't want to. But to not acknowledge that Kyle is a previous felon and the history there, and then talk about where he's at with the non sequitur showcase, and just kind of briefly, well, apparently there's a warrant out for his arrest, but you didn't explain why and what.
yeah. But if she acknowledged it in a way
No.
that wasn't approved, that would bother you too, right? If she acknowledged and really highlighted that, Kyle is a previous felon, and Steve did a handshake agreement with this previous known felon after people have highlighted that to him in private, right? Like, this guy, I don't think you can trust him. But he's like, no, people can change, and I believe he's honorable, and he did a handshake agreement with this guy without signing an LLC. You could have highlighted that, knowing that he's a felon, and highlighted that part. But that wouldn't be the approved way of highlighting it, right? So you have to highlight that Kyle's just a piece of shit, right? Like, that's the only way to highlight that.
He's a felon.
Happened.
Steve got into bed with him, and then felony things happened by both of them. Like hiding your income, not signing the documents, and all kinds of other shit, probably. It's like Steve just wanted the money to be brought to him in cash, with a receipt, of course, right? I don't know. I mean, what are we to think when Steve says things and then they don't really mean what it is that he said? Doesn't mean that. We're supposed to interpret what Steve meant when he said that. Yeah. So I'm
Which would
sure,
be relevant.
I'm sure that we heard this a million times. Steve didn't want Kyle to pay him because of Medi-Cal. Yeah, because of his Medi-Cal. We should just leave that part out, though, because that has nothing to do with Steve and Kyle business dealings with each other.
But that's not approved.
Yeah, it's just like a big question mark out there. And I wonder who's going to answer it one day. We're going to figure that all out, because it'll never get to court because Kyle just won't show up.
To doing a deep dive on non sequitur, and if you're going to do a deep dive on Kyle. There's one thing that I also noticed that I thought was kind of weird in the videos, is that at the beginning of the Kyle video, you said when he was born, his age, and his star sign, and then a little bit about the star sign. And he did the same thing with KJ,
He sped up at 125 speed.
And I'm not sure why.
Hello,
I was curious as to
Choi.
why. Is it because Steve's star sign doesn't line up with a picture you want to paint? That's not a very charitable interpretation, but why should I be? So I'm just going to read this bit again because this
Yeah, exactly. The Medi-Cal things from his videos and his information. So then when you see it, you're like, well, that's really strange. And then they go, no, you're not allowed to talk about it. And it's like, okay.
How dare you? How dare you say, right?
How dare you talk about purple titties? How dare you?
confuses me. So I'm just going to read through this and maybe chat, you can help me out with this because this is bizarre. I'm caught up, and oh boy, I heard that Steve and Manya were way nice, so I'm on that video now. Wish me luck, but so far, big oof. I was drunk, so I might have missed something, but it seemed they suddenly reversed their beliefs on everything. 1 second crazy, next second correct number of fingers and toes.
She was drunk, huh?
Hopefully they noticed how hard the people giving them information
I hope she didn't break any more wine glasses.
Manipulate them by choice words and sleight of hand. I encourage you to dig for yourself if you want the truth. There are lots of trolls on all sides, but I won't say which side is worse because, well, this is Twitter, lol. What? I didn't just show up suddenly last week. These lunatics have spent years claiming to have receipts that show that Steve is X or Y, and every single time I either check them and they're bullshitting, or asking them just results in dead air. I didn't show up last week either, even though Steve seems to think I did. We'll see if that's the case, because that's
Damn,
another,
that's
I'm
a
not
good tweet.
Sure about that. It's interesting. At first I thought you were talking about people defending Steve, because that's literally the response I got from most of them. Again, I don't care about trolls, I want it faxed. Who is most of them? Who did you talk to that was for Steve that was behaving in this way? I know I didn't get a message.
Oh.
I know Reds didn't get a message.
You didn't talk to be a prue Steve follower.
I know Ash and Letty didn't
Don't
get
ever
messages.
tell her. Never tell her, Savage Minnow.
None of the
Just
people...
make it crazy.
Who wants to go talk to Ash? Like, okay, let's talk about this. This is the woman that said, I hope you get raped on Twitter, right? That woman. Ashtray, Ash Attack. This is the woman that intentionally tried to break the non sequitur server and started just booting people from it. This one.
Yeah.
So tell me, like,
They're
who
trolls.
in their right mind would want to say, I want to talk to this unhinged person out of everybody? This is the one. Like, what? What?
All right.
You didn't talk to Ash Attack. Dang it. Or Ashtray, whatever her name is now. Ashtray's really fitting. I like that.
Yep. Came in, were rude and disruptive in her server. They are rude and disruptive to her on Twitter. They're dishonest. And they think that she can't think for herself without them telling her exactly what to think. And she's doing just fine without their help. Hey, Chimera. Hey, August.
Well, whatever you do,
Strawberry
watch the Gordian
Marcy.
Knot video that she made, and never make a video like that. That's my advice. Like, it made no sense at all.
That I know that have sort of regular contact with Steve have come forward to say that they've spoken to you. So who are you talking to? I'm not interested in you outing your sources about who is giving you information about Steve. I'm curious to know.
I think it's funny how, like, They want the source. They really do, really badly. But they're also really mad too. So like the other obvious things they're gonna go is like, well, the source is obviously Xxxiled and Fiona, or it's obviously Unirock.
And they can't. Titan Uranus.
It was Titan Uranus. That was one of them for sure. And I'm sure that there's others too. But there are people that are sort of in between that aren't talking heads that observe everything.
Hey,
and it couldn't be one of those people, right? Like, nah.
Sit down. This isn't your lawsuit. You have nothing to do with it. It's between Steve and Kyle. I wouldn't tell her anything either, Tarar. Do not give her any information. It'll just, it's exactly the information that she deserves is nothing.
Who you reach out to. Those are different questions. I don't care what information they gave you. I'm curious to know who the fuck you were talking to, because I don't know anybody who's... All right, chat, you let me know. One in the chat if you got a message from Savage Minnow asking about this non-sequitur situation. Two in the chat if you did not receive any.
One in the chat if you think saying the word not like that is appealing.
In my chat that are regularly available for this kind of thing. So again, one in the chat if you did receive a message or a tweet, something. Two in the chat if you did not.
So she did not go to the harassing trolls that surround Cheshire Vic.
Yes, and that's not okay.
Good thinking.
This was not an approved person to ask.
Interesting.
It's not interesting. It's actually unsurprising. Why would anybody go to those guys?
That's a lot of twos.
Twos!
At first I thought you were talking about people defending Steve, because that's literally...
By the way, I put a 2 in chat. I was not talked to.
From most of Steve's supporters that they flip-flop.
How dare you not talk to me?
Or they provide no information.
I know.
Who the fuck were you talking to?
She conducts the troll ops. How dare you not talk to her?
Like I said, I'm not... You were saying that these people didn't even provide you information, so it wouldn't be outing a source.
All right, you're boring.
You don't have to tell...
Skipping through.
But the perpetuity was in regards to my daughter.
Oh, this is important. This is important.
Okay. Perpetuities?
Perpetuity were supposed to go to your daughter as...
She's explaining that, in this clip, she's explaining that perpetuity, to attack the perpetuity, thinks to attack Steve's daughter.
It's about the daughter. The perpetuity claim is only existed for Steve's daughter. You can't try and talk about that without acknowledging that. That is you talking about his daughter. It's not you talking about her hair. It's not you talking about her as a person. That's not you talking about her in that sense. But it is talking about her future and
if you met this obnoxious little person in person, she would never talk to you like this in real life, right? It's only because she has a YouTube channel that she can do this. Like she's literally addressing a single person who's doing nothing but doing her own research and talking on her own channel. This is what she's doing with her huge channel with 875 views on Dumb Feck Friday. She's just an obnoxious bully. Look at her. Look at the obnoxious bully. Essentially, she's an obnoxious bully.
So this is funny. So Steve
this is not the way to do your YouTube channel. It's just not. And when you do, you're getting pushed back.
So Steve makes this giant claim some time ago after he's been kind of booted and they're making videos about the non-sequitur show and stuff. And there are things said on these videos where they're like, if you don't give us the channel, I'm going to burn it to the ground. Like just really, revealing things. But one of the things that he did was he made it all about by Kyle, kicking him off the show and stuff like that. This was meant to be his legacy. And then he ties it to his daughter, which I'm sorry, but everybody here has family, right? Everyone. And if your employer fires you, do you scream at your employer, "You're attacking my daughter"? I'm just wondering, is this the norm? Do you just hold a sign?
Messed it up, Steve. You didn't sign the papers. You didn't get paid. Trusted a felon. Oops, your poor daughter. It must be someone else's fault, though, not Steve's. Yeah.
Right. So you can't talk about the in perpetuity thing, right? Because now it's linked to his daughter. Like, they're just trying to shut it down completely. And it's like, well, no, I think we're allowed to talk about this notion of payment that he expected for some reason. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's an attack on his daughter. So, like, to do that is to me incredibly dishonest. It's pretty ridiculous. So, and I hope people recognize how that's just meant to shut your mouth, basically, because, you know, it's just a ridiculous tactic.
Nobody's buying it, Cheshire.
Her and Steve's motivation, and one of the reasons why he was so angry. Right? You've got somebody. If you're talking about the death of the non sequitur show, you're talking about somebody who is currently having their business partner steal money from them, saying that, like, acknowledging that they had a deal, but go fuck yourself, when on an issue that had been building up for months, and stealing not only money, but the entire business that you just spent a year working on, that the residuals in perpetuity were supposed to go to your daughter as per the business agreement. So when you're talking about that perpetuity, it's related to Steve's daughter. You're talking about the effect that Kyle's actions have on Steve and have on her, and one of the reasons why Steve would be so upset is that chain. This is a ball that you cannot remove the daughter from this piece. If you talk about it, you're talking about his daughter. Period. Like I said, you might not be talking about the way she looks. You might not be talking about who she is as a person. You might not be discussing, like, her parentage or anything
This
like
is
that.
why we
even though
call
you
them a
kind of
cult.
did talk
Because
about
talking
Steve being
about
married
in
and stuff, which is
perpetuity is not talking about Steve's daughter. I'm sorry. It just isn't. And what they're saying is patently false on its face. And she's trying to explain to people how it is, how something that isn't actually is. Speaking about the way Mr. McCrae went around and said, Kyle, you said this was supposed to be for me in perpetuity is a joke, okay? Because he never even signed the papers to begin with, first of all. And second of all, it has nothing to do with his daughter except in his own mind at the time of him saying it. But, you know, this sad person does nothing but sit around and defend Steve McCrae, and it is so sickening and sad how she carries on defending Steve McCrae and what Steve thought, what Steve meant, what Steve did. It is so pathetic. No self-respecting woman in their right mind would carry on like this in public, but she's doing it, and this is why we're here. We're here to show you this.
just wrong. And then we'll get to that. Somebody remind me to bring up the condoms thing. All right, somebody, like, in a couple of minutes when we get back
Oh,
to the
bring
video,
up
when
the
we-
condoms thing.
Remind me to bring that back up, because that was kind of just fucking weird. Maybe not for the reasons that you think it's weird.
It is
but
weird. It's a
certainly
weird story.
Unicorn for Five said,
Like, she's
she
literally
is
going
oblivious
to
that fact
explain
'cause she
Steve's
never did her
condom
research,
story.
just parroted
This
what
is how
someone told
pathetic
her
she is.
That
She doesn't
word
know it.
somehow
That's
is
the
overused.
problem.
That was a different claim she made. She claimed
Thanks,
that
Yumi.
Steve uses the word perpetuity so much that it's lost all meaning. And that's not quite how that works. I think the word she was looking for instead of meaning was impact. Like, the word has lost its impact, because words lose meaning when you use them arbitrarily. When you use them with different meanings. When they mean different things to different people. That's when a word starts losing its meaning. I think the word she was actually looking for instead of it losing its meaning is it's losing its impact. Like, people care less because you keep bringing it up.
In perpetuity.
It's kind of like when you start calling everybody a rape apologist.
Sorry,
And it
guys.
starts losing its impact because nobody believes you because you're annoying and full of shit.
It's like the time when I called you a gender
It's a
traitor
cult.
and you took it out of context and you made it as if I was attacking people that were trans, but it was actually just associating you with Mrs. Rutherford and explaining that you're part of the patriarchy and part of the problem, but you're a dishonest fuckface. Yeah, like that?
In perpederp.
Stuff like that. It's pretty harmful
Sorry,
to victims,
guys.
actually. Go figure.
What's harm? Okay, hold on.
So, yeah, you did
Back up.
talk about the daughter.
It's
That's
harmful
wrong.
It's harmful to victims. It's harmful to victims. This
She
is a
says that
woman
a
who
lot.
said she wants to be a victim. She wants to be a victim.
Oh.
She wants to be a victim. She's
You
a
have
victim
that
blamer.
clip, don't you? actually?
don't.
We have it somewhere because I've played it before on one of our streams.
Here, let's FOIA request some woman's essay report and read it live stream and monetize it. You guys are sick. Don't ever talk to me about victims.
Yep. That was then Cheshire tried to explain that away. Like, she wants to be a victim. It's okay. It's and like, people should read people's reports live on YouTube. This is fine. And if you have a problem with that, you're part of the problem. Yeah, we remember you.
Her screechy and stompy voice is starting to get on my nerves, and I hope I didn't pick it up and bother you guys with it. Anyway. Reprehensible.
No, maybe not for the reasons that you think it's weird, but certainly weird. Unicorn for 5 said, and she is oblivious to that fact because she never did her research, just parroted what someone told her, that that word somehow is overused. That was a different claim she made. She claimed that Steve uses the word perpetuity so much that it's lost all meaning. And that's not quite how that works. I think the word she was looking for instead of meaning was impact. Like, the word has lost its impact because words lose meaning when you use them arbitrarily, when you use them with different meanings, or they mean different things to different people. That's when a word starts losing its meaning. I think the word she was actually looking for instead of it losing its meaning is it's losing its impact. Like,
she's a fucking rocket scientist. This is what she's... I'm educating you idiots in the live chat about the word meaning and impact, right? I think everybody understands what she meant without you having to explain it to us, but perhaps your audience is so stupid they need you to explain something like that. That is silliness.
Maybe they are that stupid. Like, I've been wondering what kind of person would follow her, so maybe
it
this is
lost
important.
Its meaning, but it's lost its impact. What?
Savage Minnow says for $0. I like to point that out. Like, I'm not monetized. Savage Minnow says for $0. I actually felt re-victimized. Oh, I'm sorry. I actually felt re-victimized by Steve when I felt like I had to mention that I was an SA survivor myself for my opinion to count. Oof.
Yeah, I know. I've held back on that. I'm trying to hold back on that because it actually doesn't matter to the argument in question, and it's just like, they just want to keep saying that if you bring up the fact that Steve has lied repeatedly and gone to bat for this convicted rapist a zillion times in a zillion different creative ways, and that we all helped him to do it, then you are re-victimizing us. You are victimizing us. Because, and Steve dated someone who's a rape victim. That's sick. That's demented. That's twisted. That's not an argument.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is
It's
too,
offensive.
let's say like when I've said, hey, I have some stuff that I've been impacted with in this way, and Fiona says I've had some stuff that I've been impacted this way, and like some of us do share our story. Manya then says, oh, well, they are just projecting their hurt and their anger onto other people, and they're guiding, their ire towards, Steve as he's a representative. Manya's got this whole like little psychology couch explanation of why she thinks that somebody who's an SA victim or somebody that has been abused in some way might have a problem. She has a way to wipe that away too. So like it doesn't matter. It's a lose-lose, right? All you do is bring up something that's bugged you, and then they run with it and say, well, this is why you have issues against men like Steve. It's just fucked. It's so fucked.
Word games, yes, exactly.
Yep. Yeah, so let me play some more.
It's kind of like when you start calling everybody a rape apologist, and it starts losing its impact because nobody believes you because you're annoying and full of shit. Stuff like that.
That's not what happened. That's not what happened.
Victims, actually. Go figure.
No, it isn't. It isn't harmful to victims
So,
to call out Steve's rape apologetics and to set the record straight about a particular crime that happened in 1985 and to give the facts and evidence and to show where Steve screwed up. There's nothing that harms victims in doing that. In fact, that's quite respectful to victims. So you can put that in your pipe and smoke it, Cheshire.
Yeah, you did talk about the daughter. That's just wrong.
Perpetuity. Okay, back to that again.
The only thing I said about the daughter is that she exists. I said nothing about her in relation to your income whatsoever. Well, if you're talking about the perpetuity thing, that is talking about her in relation to...
Oh, you know who used her as a meat shield? Fucking Steve did. Tell him to stop it.
Income. So even if you didn't say those words directly, that is the context of what you're talking about, and it's also part of the entire non sequitur show situation, and it's part of when you're talking about Steve and Kyle's interaction. Yeah, you are. That's what you're talking about. It is his income is in relation to his daughter. Period. You can't remove a parent's income from what.
So if you've ever been fired from a job or dismissed from a job, or if your contract has ended, you can just say that you're hurting my family and attacking my family. You know, like just run around on Twitter like that. That's the norm, right? Like this is.
Does Steve ever take responsibility for his part in all of this? I thought he was doing it for the fans, not himself. Wasn't it for the fans? And so you could have a co-host slot on the Non Sequitur show. How does that help Steve's daughter? How does that help Steve's family? It doesn't. It's for the fans, right? It's for blood. It's to get revenge. Which is it? Make up your minds.
Oh. Hey, I would comments like that where you're saying you're the only person I want to, insert violence in Minecraft comment there. Let's not do that, please.
Did I do that?
So, no, somebody did in chat. I was saying don't do that.
I could. Okay.
They are planning on doing with their business in the future based on their children. And to do so is kind of fuckety. Like, to try, that's kind of underhanded. Just a little
How
bit.
dare you reference
Just
something that actually happened and
some
Steve
people
actually
might
brought
view
up?
that far worse. I'm choosing not to. I get that, ellipses, wow, but the perpetuity was in regards to my daughter getting money, which to me is no laughing matter. Do you understand why I feel that way? Question
That's
mark.
Randolph
That is all I'm saying.
Richardson.
Please stop accusing me of lying. I don't sink that level. Steve has no reason to lie.
I don't know that
It might
Steve's
have been
an
to you,
ex-con.
but it wasn't to me. You're talking about him and his income.
Oh man. I never noticed how bad that rumble is until I'm plugged into this mic and it's in my ears, and it's like the audience is listening.
Is she pounding on her desk?
Yeah, it is actually irritating. I just usually have shitty earphones in, so it's not so bad.
Yeah.
But now that I have the stereo in, I'm like, oh, it is really annoying.
Can't separate these things. You don't. That's not how that works. I can't. How could you possibly have that conversation and be like, "Hey, listen, Steve, I'm only talking about your income and how it affects your daughter's future, and the word perpetuity is stupid and made me think of purple titty." Ha 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 ha.
I mean,
Look
it
how
did.
mad
And then
she
say,
is.
"Well, I wasn't talking about your daughter, but the perpetuity thing was all about that." Look at, oh no, this man has feelings about something. Well, I'm not talking about your feelings, I'm talking about me. Oh, okay. You are the one that made it about your daughter, not me. You brought it up.
He
Perpetuity
brought it up.
was about his daughter
brought it up,
from the
not-
beginning. He didn't
He brought it
retroactively.
up.
Yeah, he brings it up. He brings it up as a ploy to villainize Kyle. And mind you, they did a hashtag Kyle steals from children. Remember?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. And so he brings it up as a ploy, and people can't talk about it, right? Mm-hmm. That's cute.
See how that works?
It reminds me of some people that use mental illness as both a shield and cudgel. They have a mental illness. They bring it up that they have a mental illness. Like, I'm thinking of a couple people that used to hang out with Steve that did that. And then they would be like, "Ugh," and they would use it both as a shield and cudgel. It's like, oh, I have this thing. And it's like, I think it was, oh gosh, what was his name? The rat boy, the shoulder rat boy? Can't remember his name. Dead Kennedy. Dead Kennedy at the time was in the McCults, and he's moved away since then. They threw him out during the Crafty Keela nonsense or something. I bumped by accident. Sorry. That was me. But he links his medication. And I was like, cool. I'll link my medication too. Now can we keep talking? Blocked.
What?
Blocked.
Who linked their medication? Steve?
Dead Kennedy linked his medication when we were in a Twitter argument. And I said, okay, cool. And then I just like kind of crossed out my name and I linked my medication too. And then he blocked me.
Oh my God. Okay.
I'm like, oh, cool. We're on an even ground. Here you go. Oh, that's not cool. Okay.
Damn.
But like this shield and cudgel thing, it's like I'm gonna use my daughter. Like, how dare you? I was gonna give to my daughter. Don't talk about him. I can't even say it without saying purple titties.
There are some people who agree with you that this stuff that happened with Warden and how he actively defended him loudly and let his friends screech and yell about it for over a year and still going on is not really good for his daughter. It really isn't.
No.
It's a shame. It's shameful. He should be thinking about whether or not he would want someone like Warden to live anywhere near anyone he loves, because I certainly wouldn't. But these people stood this guy for years, yeah. And they're still doing it. They're still like, making a big deal about the people who called him out and set him straight about the actual case and let him know that he was being lied to. I think we all follow. I think we all get it. I don't need to explain.
Actively make it about his daughter. He's not retroactively making what you said about his daughter either, because you're talking about the situation in regards to his daughter.
So are you. You're talking about it.
You said
right
that
now.
I was making jokes about your daughter. I did nothing of the sort.
Incredulity is not an argument. Fake laugh.
Oh no. I'm
More
curious
fake laughing.
To know, do you go back and watch? You go back and like watch your old videos? Did you rewatch before this?
Fake laughing.
I'd be curious to know.
Followed
this
by
is very close to overlapping
attitude.
with.
You should rewatch the video where she breaks
she
the
has.
wine glass because she's drunk on stream.
The don't talk about me talking about you in terms of idiocy. Yeah, this kind of is. This is like, why are you saying I'm talking about this thing that I'm talking about?
I hear your dog's
Again,
tail.
you're trying to twist what I said to meet your narrative. What's his narrative? What benefit is there to him to have a narrative about you? What is his narrative that you talked about in perpetuity, made fun about it, and that bothers him because it was important to him, because it was about
Still
his daughter
talking
and
about
him
Steve's
and his
daughter.
and the future of his business. And
We
his
should
daughter's
probably move past this
income
part where she's
or being affected
yammering
by
on about
somebody
Steve's
stealing
daughter
from him.
when you should
Yeah,
never
we
even
feel
mention
uncomfortable.
Steve's daughter. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's move past
Yeah.
this part. She's
Yeah,
just
we're
going to go on and
uncomfortable.
on about Steve's daughter in perpetuity from now till the end of time. Yep. This is what she's doing. We're on to you now. We're gonna move past it and ignore you anytime you mention Steve's daughter in perpetuity.
Yeah, I'm sure she's a lovely lady. I hope she does well in life, but we don't want to talk about her. So let's see here.
Really, stop talking about her. Have some self-respect.
But should maybe at least check it out, especially if you want to report on something. Secondly, Warden had nothing to do with non-sequitur. Nothing. Zip. Zero. Steve has
Zilch.
had on white supremacists on non-sequitur show platformed people who were transphobic, They've platformed a lot. Racist people they've platformed.
Wow.
So is Kyle
Wow.
guilty of being transphobic?
It's really
You
hard to
talked to
get
Steve,
white
you went
nationalists
Steve's
on a
channel.
show.
So you went to go talk to somebody who supports Warden. Well, what are you doing? You're giving this guy a platform.
Like, how did Steve get like
I mean, realistically, you ought to never
one
talk
of the
about Steve again
many
and delete all
white
your videos.
nationalists who
On the other
looking for a
hand,
platform? That must have been
considering
hard.
you've been shown to have gotten things just factually wrong, like just
That took some
wrong.
work, I'm sure.
Katie, the reason Steve is suing Katie, you got wrong. So I guess you need to take that video down and correct it. You
No.
got a bunch of shit wrong about the Warden situation, so I guess you need to take that video down and correct it. You also brought up some stuff in the medical stuff, so you're gonna take that down. You also
Look at
are
her.
now in a
She's just
position where you've
bullying a
gotten stuff
single
wrong about
person.
Kyle in the
She's
Non-Sequitur
just
show.
spending 4
The first
hours
video-
to bully somebody. That's what she's doing. She's a excuse my language. She is a freaking bully. That's all she knows how to do. This is it. She has no argument, just annoying and little annoyances. Somebody was wrong on the internet, so it's okay for me to just sit here and, oh my God, it's sickening. This is why we fight.
Guess you're gonna have to take it down. You're gonna run out of content pretty quick to keep this up.
So how many times does he say to take it down?
So,
take it
I
down.
don't know. What a shame.
Turn in your
That's it, like,
YouTuber
It really
card.
ticked her off that
How dare you be
Steve
wrong
didn't
about
say
something.
the specific words that she wanted him and demanded that he say.
In my
Now,
opinion.
of course, she doesn't tell people what he did say. What he did say is, rape is garbage and rapists are a piece of shit. And if Warden is guilty, he deserves to rot in jail.
Oh, he said that, did he? 2 years later.
Citation needed.
He did say it. 2 years later, he said it. But he also said, I never, ever called him an honorable man. I never said he was innocent. I never said I thought it was consensual like he was telling me. He told me that this crime that he committed against a woman and other women was consensual. And it was just a big mistake of the court system. He was just strung up by accident. He was perfectly innocent, and good things and bad things happen to good people. That type of argument. He never made an argument like that, Cheshire, and you didn't on his behalf, and Red's rhetoric didn't you are a lying bullshit artist right now. Yeah? And I bet you think that because now Steve says he's a piece of shit, and because now Steve thinks he should rot in jail, if true, he's not rotting in jail. He's not. He's putting false flags on people like me and harassing other people. Your buddy who used to tell people, go watch his videos. Go on, go watch his videos. We're just going to rewrite history now. Internet doesn't forget. Not when you defend a rapist.
That's the other thing is
The Innocence Project applies here, guys. It totally applies with this serial rapist. I'm going to get you unmonetized. I'm so sorry.
I'm not monetized. So there's that.
Yeah, he was just just accidentally made people in terror of their lives and violate them in the worst way possible. Yeah. Have some like I said, no self-respecting person goes to these lengths. No, just doesn't happen. This is one of the worst people I've ever met in the entire history of the internet, and I've met some pretty bad people.
Yeah, you've had your rounds with people, and so like it's really interesting to hear you say that, because I mean you've run into some people. I'm like, whoa.
How do you go to these lengths? I just don't get it.
Here you go. I have a video.
I feel sorry for them.
I was being slightly sarcastic, yes. I believe that you were called out and you said that you believed he was innocent and you believed
That's
his
not,
story?
no. I never said that he was innocent.
Oh.
When did I say that?
No.
Oh, you said you believed his story.
No.
That...
You made a claim. No, this is how we do this here.
Okay.
When I'm dealing with a dishonest person, I'm very, very hyper
I'm
vigilant
trying
on
to
the
be
words
as
they
honest
use.
as possible, I swear.
No, you're clearly not. Because you
Steve
just
said a rape. Hang on. Steve said a rape didn't actually take place.
I believe it was consensual, which means it wouldn't be rape.
Yes. So here's the thing. Let's say Steve McCrae is completely wrong on that inquiring minds. Does that make him gullible, or does that make him a rape apologist? I'm going to vote gullible.
Gullible's a little harsh, but okay.
You sound sarcastic, and I don't think you're being honest. Is that true?
I was being slightly sarcastic, yes. I believe that you were called out and you said that you believed he was innocent. You believed
That's
his
not.
story.
No. I've never said that he was innocent.
Hey, Hannah. It be okay. They're attacking one person who was just making some videos on her channel. One person. They've spent hours. This is the second or third stream they've done dedicated to this person, and they've also ganged up on her on Twitter and in her own Discord. That's what's been going on, Hannah.
Apparently not good enough. The answer is if somebody else believes something else, you need to cater to their sensibilities, right?
Yes.
And I think I did a pretty good job of keeping my cool the whole time.
She thinks she did
She's
a pretty
a
good
really
job of
cool
keeping her cool in
person.
the video. Please note that. Please, chat, note that she thinks that she did a pretty good job of keeping her cool the whole time, and she was ticked about the Earl David Warden situation and Steve not calling him an asshole or whatever. Because I'm telling you, do I need to really say this again? The people in her that are hanging out, that she's hanging out with, and where she's getting information from, have been more assholes to me than the rapist was. Because I actually also talked to that guy. I was in that stream. He made a sexual joke about me. Funny thing that
No, it isn't.
the attorney you're talking to, the people, the reason why I know these are the people you're talking to isn't because you've told us who you're talking to. It's because you told us who you were talking to, and your comment section and your live chat tells us exactly who you're talking to. Don't worry.
You know
I'll
what?
show you guys the
I
live chat in
feel
front.
like this is not right. It's like she is so out of her mind and unhinged right now. I just feel like there's something wrong with us even reviewing it. Does anybody else feel that way? Like she doesn't seem right. There's like she's about to go off the deep end completely any minute here, and I don't know. It's just something feels really wrong about this.
Well, yeah, like I
Because
wonder
it's not
about her
fun.
empathy ability, right?
No, I mean,
You think it's beyond her ability to have empathy? Because, like, that seriously seems to be missing. But
this person painted herself right into a corner, and her friend Steve, by defending a convicted rapist for 2 years, and now she's got nothing, and it's really not fair. It's really not fair. But let's continue, because I really don't care, because I can't stand her guts. I hate bullies.
Some of the comments. We'll get there. We'll get there.
But just it really kind of solidified a lot of kind of open-ended opinions that I had of Steve. Just the way that he tried to like take everything that I said and twist it and take it out.
Well, so the context for you matters, but the context for perpetuity and Steve doesn't. Really?
Do you see what she's doing? I mean, like, this is like...
So you're
this is
admitting to
garbage.
going in with...
This is the worst one we've ever done on her. And I'm like, I'm having... I don't think it's... Like, I feel like the more we review this garbage person, the lower we're sinking or somehow. Does that make any sense? It's like, it's such garbage what she's doing from her YouTube channel, calling it Dumb Feck Friday when she's the biggest dumb feck there is. It just doesn't feel right. Like something about it is all wrong. I feel like, can somebody help me? What am I feeling right at this moment?
you know that she's actually doesn't make the height requirement to get on the roller coaster? Is that what you're feeling?
I'm actually a little bit. If I'm honest, I will tell you that I'm triggered because I've dealt with people like this in the past, right? And there just is no dealing with them. They're just abusive, nasty, gnarly, garbage bullies. That's basically it.
Hannah says, "Hey, the rapist was nice to me. Okay, don't talk crap
Yeah.
about the rapist, Minnow."
Yeah, she doesn't know not to bring that. She did that once before, and she should have learned by the feedback she was getting from the audience that she shouldn't be doing that. That's not an argument. It's gross. It's disgusting when you do that.
The rapist left the toilet seat up.
I'm going
Or
to explain
didn't.
it to her again. Cheshire. Rapists can be very charming. That doesn't mean they're not rapists. Yeah, that doesn't mean they're not guilty, and that's the problem we're having. Your friend, Steve, said that a rapist wasn't a rapist, that he was stitched up by the legal system and he was perfectly innocent, and everybody who believed otherwise was an idiot and a troll. And you perpetrated that. And you took actions against Fiona Robertson for making one single video correcting him. And he was sorely wrong. Yeah? And you got nowhere to go anymore. But down.
Also, like, this whole idea of, well, he's changed positions. Now he's, like, in this agnostic position. Like, holy shit. What does it take for Steve to be convinced? Like, agnostic? Are you kidding me? After all the information that's been given, like, I don't know. Now I have conflicting information. That's, like, the latest thing, right? But, like, it's just, I don't know. I can't even. Do you think she realizes this is troll behavior? Maybe.
None. I think you're right. I'm having a hard time finding words. Really, I am.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. But it's like a red herring to say, like, the rapist treated me better than, you. Like, it's nonsensical. It puts you, like, kind of moves the argument elsewhere, and you're just like,
And
yeah,
she
I'm not
seems
playing.
to think she deserves to be treated well. This is a person who put false accusations against my friend and makes up lies about my other friend. And after she does, her friends go and, like, watch her at work and report her. This is what these motherfuckers have done. Yeah? I'm sorry. This is stuff that has actually happened. This person is a nasty, gnarly, disgusting bully. And that's what she is doing. I don't think of Savage Minnow should ever be in the same room with her. I wouldn't recommend it. I don't. There's just something wrong with her and her friends that are doing these nasty things to people in their real lives. And that's oh my God. She doesn't get it. Like, she shouldn't even be broadcasting on her channel. She should be ashamed of herself. She should be ashamed of herself.
An open-ended bias, and then it was solidified when you spoke to him directly. So clearly you confronted him on this, right? Clearly you had all these questions and you had things that you took issue with, and you brought all those things up to Steve, right? Certainly you didn't just go on a complete tangent talking about your sexuality that nobody asked about, right?
Oh my God.
Right?
Oh my God. I feel violent impulses. Please, can we stop? I think I might have to bag out. I really do. Does it get any better? Like, does she stop acting abusive like this? Oh, you're muted, sweets. You're muted, my love.
She starts saying how Warden was a better person.
Okay. I think that needs to be, if she says that more, I think we need to highlight that. But like, I can't respond to it because I'm literally having a hard time breathing at this point.
Take a break.
Oh,
You want to come back?
All right.
Yeah.
I'll just listen. Okay, I'll listen. I'll try to listen. I'll try.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Certainly that couldn't be the case. That couldn't have been what happened. We'll get there.
All of that fun stuff. But it I was glad that I did show up because, like I said, I could tell immediately that they were trying to twist everything that I had to say. He said, no, that's not what's happening. And there were a few things where it was just like lapses in logic, but today is a celebration stream, so we're not going to talk about that. I think I might do a video where I just kind of like follow all of that stuff up. Now,
Really? So you're gonna do a video following up? Exploratory Minds for 5 says the worst of this is she knows exactly what she's doing, and it's all for mind games and gaslighting. Hell, she's Suitor 2.0. Ooh, that's a big.
Ooh,
oof.
Suitor
Oh, hey,
2.0. Ooh, I think it's around here. She says the thing.
It was solidified when you spoke to him directly. So clearly you confronted him on this, right? Clearly you had all these questions and you had things that you took issue with and you brought all those things up to Steve, right? Certainly you didn't just go on a complete tangent talking about your sexual happened in non sequitur, that you didn't even seem to understand what had happened in the death of the non sequitur show. And there are videos, like I even did a video analyzing that and analyzing what has happened and looking back on it a year later.
6 weeks prior to the non
Chet is
sequitur
yelling
show
at me that I need
breakup,
to see what you said about me
Cheshire
in the transcript.
predicted that she would one day be co-host of the non sequitur show. I'll say that again. 6 weeks prior, about 6 weeks prior to the death of the non sequitur show, Cheshire Vic predicted that one day she would be co-host of the non sequitur show. That's why she's so animated about all this.
She's got some aspirations there.
She wanted to
Fine,
take something that didn't belong to her, and now she can't take it because Kyle won't give it to her. Too bad. Ha ha ha.
Didn't really care about what she was saying about me, but I'm fine. I've been told. Okay, so let's see what the research and stuff. I do appreciate that people have been
and stuff, Discord, and like I totally appreciate
the Discord. What Discord? What Discord? What Discord are you in where people are sending you this information? Is it your personal Discord?
There she goes.
Is there a link to that? Ooh, your Discord. What if I pop in here? Is
What
it
if
this
you
Discord
did?
that you're getting links in? I'm curious.
She would
to
never
know.
jump
Dude,
in
I
to
just
someone
wanna make
else's
sure that I have time to, like,
Discord,
post
ever.
all those things. And
Wait, you're getting more
Manya
links
went
now with
in.
more information.
Didn't
meaning
go
that
very
you
well
weren't
for
done your
Manya.
research before you put your fucking video out, and you're like, oh my god, people are being mean to me about the information being wrong and saying I was wrong about things. They're actually just I couldn't have been wrong. They're just twisting what I've said, and even though I didn't finish my research. Oh boy.
all that fun.
You
stuff.
know, all that fun stuff. All that fun stuff.
No, I don't want to end up like Katie Joy.
Oh, really? Then you might want to learn how to verify your sources. You might want to keep a curb or recognize how to distinguish when you're speculating better for your audience. You may not want to make shit the fuck up. Huh. Yeah, and yes, she did just describe her confirmation bias.
I'm not betting my sources.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
exactly. Celebrate good times. Oh, speaking of Katie Joy.
How did you vet your sources? Anyway,
I
she's
had to
talking
make
about
that
Katie, so let's move
awful
on
noise.
to me, apparently.
Sorry.
She
Cheshire and Reds
demands
both have
a lot
eyes.
about
Oh,
sources.
really?
It's so funny
Okay.
in this. She's like, show me your sources.
There's one
We
thing that I
know
would
who your
recommend,
sources are. Show me your
hopefully I'll give
sources.
you a little bit of advice when it comes to having videos and having your live chat. If you're answering somebody's question or you're agreeing with somebody in the chat, read out what they said so that way people know what you're saying when you respond.
Or
Absolutely, I
she
agree with
can-
you. I think
she can,
that
like,
both of them are
do
liars. I
whatever
think
she
Kyle's a liar
fucking
too. I think they're all
wants.
liars.
Oh
so
my
you
God.
had a
So what's funny is when she is responding to chats, you can like clearly see if you were to open up the video and she opened it up correctly, you would see that she was responding to me at a certain point in the chat. But she's like, you need to tell us who you're responding to. But like we all like open up the chat and go, she just responded to somebody in chat. Oh, who was that she responded to? Oh, it was AT2 Productions. Like, we're gonna like, but Cheshire doesn't want to do that homework. So she's just like, you need to tell me who you're responding to in chat because I'm too lazy. So
bias against all of us thinking that we're all lying and then didn't reach out to any of us because you think we're liars anyway and then just decided to get shit that's publicly available fucking wrong. So you had a confirmation bias. So you went out looking to prove that we were liars. So welcome to the we're gonna get to the condom story finally. Okay, so in her video about Steve, she talks
Let's talk about the
people were
condom
telling
story.
stories, and she was trying to figure out what was true and what wasn't true. And one of the stories she said she was told, and I've never heard this story, so I mean I was impressed. I'd never heard this one. That Steve was still living with his wife, who was fucking somebody else, and Steve was going into her room
Incorrect,
and taking
bitch.
the used condoms and utilizing them for something. And she says, she describes in quite excitedly that she looked so hard to try to verify this, but could not find anything that was corroborating.
Well, that's because it's a fucking funny story. Like, so when you hear a story like that, you're just like, what? Like, this guy...
Yeah.
this guy is raking up condoms from other people's, like, other dudes. Like, why?
I think, hasn't Steve denied he's ever been married anyway? So, like, how would it be his ex-wife?
No,
Like,
maybe in the, like, telephone, the game of telephone, it's gotten to this, but no, it would have been Lyrical Orion and him. That would be
Lyrical Cheshire. It was Lyrical.
Lyrical Orion? I wrote a book, and it's on Amazon if you want to buy it. Look at this penny. I can stick it to the wall. It's metaphysics.
So it was Lyrical, not his wife. How dare she be wrong about something on the internet? Cheshire, you need to be, like, we need to do a 4-hour stream about how you were wrong about this. You should have verified your sources with the person who told the story to his male friends, Steve McCrae.
Yeah.
He's the one, he told the story about this woman that he was in a relationship with, and that he did tell this story to humiliate her.
Yeah.
And it turns out to be more humiliating for him than her.
Like the fact that she's sleeping around, like, okay, you know, like, she's not with you anymore, dude. But the fact that you're cleaning that shit up is funny as fuck.
Oh. Yeah, why wouldn't you just go to Steve and ask if you'd never heard it before?
Yeah, well, you know.
But you got him in your DMs and on speed dial. Ugh.
Now, that's kind of telling, don't you think? You approached a story by wanting to believe it and then looking for information to verify. And then instead of saying, hey, I didn't find anything to verify this, or it was a bullshit story I was told, you said, I was told this information.
I don't know how you could verify it, like, you know, without actual footage of it, like, you know.
I did everything I could to verify that it was true, but I was not able to confirm.
I am expecting her to do the same thing that she demands of others.
And you think we're all liars. You think that we're twisting your words. You think that for you, context matters, but for us, it doesn't. You think that Steve should not be upset about someone stealing from his daughter. You verifiably talked about
What? How did it go from the cleaning up condom story
in perpetuity stuff? And then
back
immediately
to
was
his
like, well, I wasn't
daughter?
talking about your financials nor your daughter.
You're asking me to make sense of how her brain works?
It was his landlord. Tyler Durden has corrected us. It was his landlord that he cleaned the condoms up for. That is actually probably the best way of describing it. His landlord, his roomie.
Lyrical Ryan.
The story comes from Steve Cheshire. And if I were you, I wouldn't be mentioning his family members in the same breath as this stupid story. You moron.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about it. Why are you talking about it?
I'm sorry for saying that word. I'm sorry. I won't say
talking
it again.
about both of those things, even in that one bit. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're talking about.
I talk to Lyrical.
You wanted people who supported Steve to come and talk to you, but when reaching out to
go to Lyrical.
you will
Maybe
not
she'll
come
tell
and
you.
talk to us. You want all of this charity to be given to you by us, and yet
She never asked for anything from them.
here we are.
She never asked
We're all liars.
for anything.
Based on what? Based on what?
Like, she's sitting there like as if this person is in front of her. But if this person was literally in front of her, she would have a much different attitude. Cheshire would.
I just
She's
love
a
how
big tough guy because she's sitting there in front of her fans with her moderators, banning anybody who speaks out against them. You know, so she can act like a tough guy right now, as if Savage Minnow is sitting there, and Savage Minnow actually isn't sitting there in front of you, Cheshire, right? It's just crazy. It's just crazy how we have to do these things because these people live in a bubble on the internet and they can't come out. Yeah. So we have to do it this way.
so like she mentions, and you require all this charity. Once again, I just want to highlight how Cheshire and Steve abuse the concept of charity. The concept of charity in philosophical debate and conversations and, well, general debate is not that I'm doing you a favor in any way or that I'm being kind to you and here's my welcome chair. Charity is literally steel manning. It is giving the best possible representation of an argument and addressing that argument as is or the best version as is, right? So when you say now, you don't deserve my charity, that just tells me I don't plan on representing your argument in an honest fashion. That's what you're doing, Cheshire. So she's just announcing.
Being besties. She thinks it means being best friends.
The way that they abuse that term drives me wild.
The 4 C's.
How did you come to your conclusion? I'll click this back just a little bit more.
Like an empty balloon as opposed to a like it didn't just shrink, it deflated. No. So that I think was kind of like the main disagreement that we walked away from the
Oh, hey, look.
Cheshire doesn't know how to respond to a person who behaves like a normal person.
This is, I think, what Jason had said. For anybody who doesn't know, Jason has been around being a like vague, trolly little shit for a while. Who's also a liar.
I don't know this Jason.
A video or two ago, but
neither do I.
And actually showed. The question was, did Steve? They were talking about Steve. Convince you that Warden was innocent, and did he not claim he was honorable? Talk about a malformed question, and then he also said it on video. Yes, and we've been over it. Steve said Warden was honorable in the way he conducted these things. Okay, and sorry, everything is nice. I'm allowing that to go for a minute just so it pops up on here. We don't allow ableism in here, so bye-bye.
Incorrect. That's not what happened. There's ample evidence of it. You are incorrect.
There's so many videos and clips, like, at this point, like, how many receipts do they require?
But only Cheshire knows what he really meant. She had to explain it, and when she explained it, she was incorrect. And she took the wrong position. That's sad for her, but she's getting no mercy at this point because she's, at this point, well beyond tripling and quadrupling down. Well beyond that. She's got
Don't
no
shit
more
on people
chips.
for being in wheelchairs, even when they're not actually in wheelchairs. So take your ableist bullshit and get the fuck out.
Something about
Because
wheelchair
I don't
people.
Allow I don't just say I'm against racism and ableism and people bullying others in live chats or in comment sections. I actually take action when it occurs.
Bitch, your main man, Steve, the way he talks about mental illness is something that you need to talk to him about. Like, the way that he throws that around constantly is as a pejorative. Maybe you should talk to him about that.
Unlike some people, which we will get to. Yeah, we've been over what Steve said, and that context doesn't matter, but context doesn't matter for Steve, right? It only matters for you. And did he convince you that Warden was innocent? Steve's never been trying to convince.
Yeah, that's right. Porpoise, they did conflate autism with mental illness, and then the way that they were talking to Porpoise was so disgusting. But she's against ableism, guys. Like, yeah, it's it's a totally Fiona says there's a clip of him discussing Warden's conviction, not his auditing, and saying he believes him with the conviction. So there's the honorable context. There is, in fact, that clip was highlighted by Sokka just now. I bet I could find it really quick. I'm pretty sure Sokka just highlighted it. Let me see here. Bartholomew Roberts. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Bartholomew is just like doing battle. Woo. So much going on. Wow. Let's see here.
I'm gonna need to have to meditate after this.
Meditate. Yeah. Yeah, it's all a little bit much.
Take place.
I believe.
Don't censor comments. That's what nobody's censoring comments.
Steve said a rape. Hang on. Steve said a rape didn't actually take place.
I believe it was consensual, which means it wouldn't be rape.
Yes. So here's the thing. Let's say Steve McCrae is completely wrong on that, inquiring minds. Does that make him gullible, or does that make him a rape apologist? I'm going to vote gullible.
Gullible's a little harsh, but okay.
It's mind-boggling.
Is that if somebody believes somebody, that doesn't make somebody an apologist. I happen to believe this guy. I've talked to his best friend. He believes him wholeheartedly. His fans believe him, and he has a huge dedicated fan base. If I'm wrong on that, okay, then I just made a judgment and
no big deal. No big deal.
I'll say, okay, I fucked up.
And not only that, it's a crime against Steve Manatee to make a video poning his ass on it too. Yeah, correcting his errors and telling him what the fuck is up. He just can't tolerate that. Neither can any of his sycophants. And that's what they are. They're simping sycophants.
Yeah.
Sad simping sycophants.
But, according to Cheshire, you guys are delusional if you heard any of that. That's not what happened. Listen to Cheshire. She'll give you the insight of what actually is happening.
Yeah. Gaslighting little twit.
Convince anybody that Warden was innocent. That's never been a conversation that's even been had. So,
I love her.
If you do see Spackle
it's
being
like, cheers.
racist or homophobic or transphobic or ableist, please, do go ahead and give her the boot. But other than that, feel
we're
free to play with
social
her
justice
until
warriors. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Discussion.
Because I'm homophobic as fuck. Obviously, I'm very self-hating. I'm a very self-hating person. So obviously, that's the first thing I'm going to be doing is just being like, burning the gay flag. That's what I'm going to be doing. No, Cheshires, you're a fucking idiot.
So she believes that the main disagreement in the discussion was whether or not Warden was innocent or whether or not, because that wasn't the conversation that I heard.
It was a lizard that was big enough that it would have fucked up my car if I would have hit.
There you go. That makes sense. That makes sense. That was the only thing that happened in this stream that made sense was the lizard that whatever it was she just said. Can you play it again?
the lizard in the car. I don't even know what that meant. Actually,
I don't know. Whatever it was, it made perfect sense to respond to cheese. Yeah.
So that I think was kind of like the main disagreement that we walked away from the discussion. Steve is somebody that I've talked about on the channel before. He was one of the two people who started the Non Sequitur show. And that was one of my huge problems with him is that he has had this guy on who is a convicted rapist and has basically said in multiple public tweets, he's defended the guy, said that
no, he defended him platforming the guy because people were accusing him of saying that rape was okay or ever justified, which has never happened. So you can't even get that shit straight. But color me unsurprised.
She's got it straight.
Think he's a rapist. That
liar.
So
liar.
Liar. That was not. Can you hear me? Just checking. Can you hear me?
I wanted
Okay.
to make sure she heard me call her a liar.
Okay.
Honestly.
I was just wondering if you could hear me.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I was just confused for a second. I was like, am I here? Do I exist?
You do. I'm sorry.
Is this
sweetie.
idealism where we have to recognize that our mind has to perceive an object or a person? No, just kidding. So, I don't know what's happening. I lost my train of thought because Lyra was being screamed. I'm going to have to get it back. I'm sorry.
I'm the center of my universe. Okay, so yeah,
Believes
she's
his
just
side of the story.
lying.
That's not quite. He's never said he wasn't convicted. He says that the guy has maintained his innocence. And once upon a time, he said.
Oh. This is what I was trying to say is that she likes to highlight things that people don't say, right? So, like, that nobody's saying that Steve's gung-ho about the R word. Like, this is Reg Rhetoric's tactic.
Yeah.
A rape apologist is somebody who defends rape. Remember that? Like, that's this video with the big straw man. And we're like, no, like, there's other things that fall under rape apology. Like, you know, like, imagine a football team and Coach Brown and the football team's accused of raping somebody. And then all the jocks get together and go, no, Coach Brown never would have done this thing. He bought me pizza once and we won games. And remember that time when... And people go through this, he would never do this because X reason. And so, like, it is sort of like this weird apology thing that actually, sadly, is really common. The problem is, in this case, I kind of understand when it's Coach Brown and people are like, but he was so good to me. And, like, he was like a, you know, like a model or role model figure. Or even if it's like a parent or something like that. But... what is it to you if it's just this other YouTuber? Like, there's no, like, actual investment. There's no, like, what does this mean? Like, a lot of people go through this, like, you know, horrible stage of, like, you know, if I let this predator into my life, what does this say about me? You know, and they go through all that kind of grief and stuff like that. These are, like, real life things that I'm kind of pulling from and going, you know, this shit does happen. But for him, the investment's so minimal. Like, why was it so difficult to just say, yeah, this guy's pretty creepy?
Because they were mad. They just got mad. I swear that's why he did it. They just got mad at her for being right about something very important.
It's so bizarre. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Red's also said a rape apologist is someone who said that rape didn't happen, which is exactly what McRae did, right? Yeah.
And I'm going to give the guy the benefit of the doubt for the sake of this other conversation I'm going to have. And there's some stuff that didn't line up. Now he says that I don't know because now I'm seeing different conflicting things. So he's been updating as more information has come in to a story that he's not following because he's not friends with the guy and doesn't support him. He's not having the conversations you're claiming he is having. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm shocked and surprised that you don't know what you're talking about. Look at how surprised I am. So surprised.
And when I went on his show, I kind of confronted him. I mean, it was his show, so it was...
So you went from you definitely confronted him and you were pissed about it to now you've kind of confronted him. But it was his show, so you didn't...
Trying to be polite. But I was like, if you think that he's a piece of shit, just say that you think that he's a piece of shit, and he wouldn't.
Maybe because he doesn't necessarily have any thoughts about whether or not he's a piece of shit, because he doesn't know whether or not he did it anymore, because he's like, I've gotten conflicting information now. And if he did do it, he deserves to rot in jail. You don't... Do these people not care about innocent until proven guilty? Are these people unaware that people get wrongfully convicted of crimes?
That's the thing. He was convicted. He was convicted.
He was convicted.
Convicted.
Do these people not care about actual convictions?
Do you know what it took to get a conviction back in the 80s? It took a lot. You'd have to be caught in the act, practically. Yeah.
It's not easy, and they think that this person did multiple, and they picked the case that was the easiest to prosecute.
It's sick. Do we not care about innocent? Of course we care about innocent till proven guilty. Right? Unless it's Kyle. But I mean, like, of course we do. This is outrageous that they're even bringing up something like this or asking that question.
Right. Well, that's the thing. I think that's what's so difficult to swallow and digest
she
anything
is.
that she says because it's so
She is
abhorrent.
defending a rapist. She is doing that. She is actually defending a rapist right now. I'm sorry, but that's what she's doing. Still, 2 years later.
Well, see, the only thing that took McRae to overlook a conviction was to see that this guy had a huge following on YouTube. So that right there,
Yeah.
that this guy could give him views from that auditing community. So there's that. And also, he was nice to him. And also, he talked to his best friend, and he believed his best friend, and there's secret evidence. Yeah.
And somebody made an ageist comment. Oops. Yeah. That means, Warden didn't make an ageist comment. He's a good guy. That's what she's saying. I mean, these arguments that she's putting forward, and nobody's giving her any pushback. None.
Oh, no. Her sycophants
This
are
is why
well
we call them a
trained.
cult. That's why we call them a cult, because they're all so stupid to listen to this nonsense.
Yeah.
This is
What
not
is
the
it?
great debate community. It isn't.
What does it take for that Cheshire thing and Steve thing, those people over there? What does it take for them to understand that they're like, at one point they're like, we respect a court of law, and they run around with a no-show in court saying, this is proof so much, On the other hand, they go, well, this woman that was brutally raped at gunpoint, we're going to throw that out of the, we're going to be, and now he's moved his position to agnostic. Cute. What does it take for you to move out of that agnostic position? Obviously, a conviction didn't do it. A jury of 12 didn't do it. Evidence didn't do it. Looking at the papers yourself didn't do it. Looking at the police interview didn't do it.
Oh, die on this hill, guys. Yeah, this is the one they wanted to die on Earl David Warden's Hill. This is the one they chose. That's so disgusting.
But
I hope Fantaran, they never catch wind of this. I really do.
I hope not either.
And
But
I love
also, I just can't help but hear Manya echoing over and over again, quit re-victimizing victims.
Right.
Unempathetic that people cannot have redemption in any case based on whatever crime. There's there's things that are in here that you might think on the surface sound reasonable. Like, yeah, why wouldn't you just say he's a piece of shit
why wouldn't you?
Piece of shit? He's a convicted rapist after all.
Why wouldn't you?
That's reasonable.
That sounds kind of reasonable, doesn't it?
Yes.
It does. Until you know anything about the fucking situation and what the fuck you're talking about.
Like what?
Or actually think about it for longer than 30 seconds. I can tell you right now, Earl David Warden treated me better than Spackle in side chat. So
That's
I
her
might not
argument.
say that Warden
That's her
was a piece of shit to
argument.
me, because he wasn't a piece of shit to me. But you know who has been a piece of shit to me? Spackle. So does that mean
And
Spackle's worse than a rapist? Certainly not what I said.
Yeah, she did that. There's a video I made where I spliced it. There's a video I made that addresses this, but first of all, I mean, it's a red herring. Like, it has nothing to do with the actual conversation. So saying, like, the rapist did... So, like, I'm going to march up to whoever left the toilet seat open and be like, well, the rapist actually closed the toilet seat and sprayed. So, therefore, does that mean that, you're worse than a rapist? Like, what? Matt Bell was nice to me and gave me some philosophical sites and links to study, oddly, even though he was horrible to everybody else. Does that mean that Matt Bell is nicer than Cheshire? No. Fucking Matt Bell's a pedo and is in jail, and he deserves to be in jail. Fuck him. Also, like, this is just, like, I'm pointing out, like, it makes no sense. Like, this guy was nice to me once, therefore, like, the only thing I can think of what that's designed to do is to upset and trigger whoever she's talking to. So, like, she'll say, oh, well, the rapist was nicer to me than you are, you piece of shit. Like, oh, really? Oh, well, I'm so glad you were so comfortable in a room with David Earl Warden, because he didn't do that to you, right? It doesn't matter. It didn't happen to you. fuck off.
So can I just, I want to address something Fabio said. He's like, Fabio, I am not surprised that she's saying any of these things. I think what is hard on me is that she's saying it with such intensity and sincerity, and so many people are just letting it stand, and they're not speaking back to her. And that there's this, it's not just her, it's all of these other people in this live chat here. Okay. And yeah, that's it. I'm not surprised by what she's saying. I think she's a horrible, awful person who says horrible, awful things. And, you know, she's also an idiot, right? But
it is a
it's just hard
G-Man
to take.
argument. HD is 100% right. It's a G-Man argument. Did you know G-Man told me in Tom Rabbit's Hangout, G-Man told me that I was worse than Matt Bell because I'm part of the LGBTQ. So G-Man said, I am worse than a child predator because who's convicted and in
Right.
jail
Yeah.
because I am bisexual.
Yeah.
And because I defend other people on the LGBTQ spectrum, I am worse than him. I kid you not. He said that. He also said to somebody else that they were a liar and they were worse than Matt Bell because they were a liar. So like this lack of a threat meter, this lack of being able to, I don't know, morally order threats and what's actually more serious than the other seems to be shared between Cheshire and G-Man. They're just as equally fucked up, and they both say things for shock value and to disgust you and to just really bother you.
And it just happens to be at Savage Minnows' expense this time, and it just hurts me because I've come to like her. I kind of like her. She's she's a cool person.
Right.
Or maybe the answer is yes, but only in this specific context. Right? Weird how that works. It's funny that context only matters for you, but doesn't matter for anybody else.
It's so sad, Fabio. It really is. I'll never get it'll never stop surprising me. Yes, Tarar. Tarar is a genius. He's got an ASMR channel, but it's funny as hell. I love it. You guys should sub him. He supports us. Yeah, no, I okay. You guys are making much more intelligible comments than I could right now. I'm just gobsmacked.
Oh yeah. Well, G-Man's got like major bigotry towards LGBTQ communities. Like he did 3 months straight. Our friend, who is a friend of Steve's too, by the way, our friend Jade passed away, and for 3 months straight, G-Man was attacking her. And then when she passed away, he said that she was in hell. So all because she was a lesbian Catholic, and that just couldn't be right. So. G-Man is incredibly bigoted, but like, yeah, it's one of those things. But the argumentation style of like, here's this horrible villain, and I'm gonna compare you to that person just to make you internally want to barf, right? Like it's just fucked up.
We haven't done that to Steve. We've not compared him to the person in question that committed the crimes. Yes, we've just said, don't do this. Do not defend people who've gone through, who've been through the legal system in 1985. That's it. That's all. Yeah. He's convicted. He's a sex predator. He's on the sex predator list for life. Do not defend him. You can platform him if you want. Just don't defend his crimes. You rape apologist. That's it.
And people were like, you're trying to corner him. You're trying to give him an ultimatum. And I said, no, like
Nobody said that. I didn't see that. Even I haven't said that. I'm saying that you're demanding he behave in a way that you see fit on a situation that you don't have an understanding of and telling him what to believe.
I mean, there's all sorts of things he could have done differently. He could have said, hey, I made a mistake, or I only had him on for auditing, but I made a mistake. I shouldn't have defended him, with more information. He could have not attacked Fiona for 2 straight years and said horrible things to her. He could have done that. He could have apologized. He could have done so many different things, but instead he's like, I believe what I believe because, you know, I'm going to just make belief claims and they're not the same as knowledge claims. And he used to dance around that. And I believe he's innocent. I believe this is all bullshit.
This guy has like 180,000 subs last I checked. Yeah. And he's able to convince a lot of people that he's perfectly innocent. So, I mean, it's not surprising, but like we're smarter than those people, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Unless you're Steve McRae, then you're an idiot.
Yeah. There's so many different things that he could have done, but instead he was just an ass the entire time.
And how to express that belief. You're demanding he behave and say this, and if he doesn't, you're shitting on him. Like I said, the warden situation had absolutely nothing to do with the Non Sequitur show, so why did you bring it up in your videos about Non Sequitur show and who Steve was?
Because that's what people talk about.
Because it seems...
It was the first thing that Steve did right after the Non Sequitur show fell apart. That was the first video that Steve had on his channel, was his interview with Warden. So it gets conflated. Oops. You probably shouldn't have defended him and defended a rapist if you didn't want that to get conflated.
Rose says she tried to say Minnow was demanding charity. Yeah, how dare Minnow demand that maybe her arguments or the things that she say are actually stated properly and aren't straw men. How dare she?
It was a bit frustrating to watch Minnow not demand anything from Steve. And just simply say, I disagree with you on that. I agree with you on these other things, yeah, but I disagree with you on the warden thing. That's actually what happened. It's not enough for Cheshire.
Warden might be in prison by December. We'll find out more.
Used to be that your goal from the get-go was to just shit on Steve. Unicorn for 5 said the main aim is to attack Steve. Who cares if the victims get re-victimized again and again when a new YouTuber comes in demanding answers? The answer is if you wanted to know what Steve's position was, you could have actually found that. We've talked about it ad nauseum without defending Warden. There is no defense of Warden that has happened.
She talked about it with Steve. She talked about it with Steve, and she told Steve that she disagrees with him. That's it. That's what happened. She talked with Steve about Warden. I thought you looked through the videos and did your research to do this 4-hour stream, Cheshire. I heard it. Manya heard it.
There's also no defense of rape. Has not happened. Go show me where
Most people don't defend that.
Do you care about the legal system? Do you care about victims? Do you care that... You say that people are allowed to say whatever the fuck they want, and yet you turn around and say, no, they have to say it in this way or else they're bad people.
Yeah, kind of how you say things do matter, actually, Cheshire, and maybe you should take a look in that. Like, she acts like that's not a problem. Yeah, the Romeo and Juliet excuse, that was interesting. And so that kind of clued us into maybe he's being told a false story, right? Most of us extended like this, they've been at the very start, like Charity, like he's being fooled. And clearly when he stops being fooled, like this, he's going to, recant and redirect and reroute, recalculate route. No. He just went down with the ship.
Fabio, I don't know what mistakes she made in the stream with Steve and Manya. But it's circling the wagons. Yeah, they did that. They actually ganged up on her on Twitter, like has happened to us. And they're still doing it. I bet you they're still going to come for her. But we tell everybody, don't harass anybody in the video, right?
Yeah.
If you want to have the conversation about platforming, then have the conversation about platforming. That's a different conversation. That's not the one you're doing. You're also making it more accusations about what people did and what Steve has said with no evidence of that being the case. But we'll get there.
I am challenging him But that's not like I'm not forcing him to say anything, and he didn't.
Your buddy Spackle, by the way, Ophelia, said that there are people whose victimization don't count because she considers them not real women.
No, she never said that.
That is not what I said. So if you'd like
Whatever.
to know the context, I'm going to just explain the context. So if I say the term gender traitor, it's obviously, well, I would assume that people would understand that it is obviously not to do with anybody on the LGBTQ spectrum. What it does have to do with is the Handmaid's Tale, and where people are being abused for being LGBTQ in that, and they're called gender traitors if they are on that spectrum and hung on the wall or abused in some way, right? But one of them, when they confront Mrs. Waterford, turns the term on its head and says, I might, been labeled this gender traitor thing, but you are the gender traitor. And she says that to Mrs. Waterford. Mrs. Waterford is the wife of Mr. Waterford, and she is the top tier woman in that system in Gilead, and she has played the game of patriarchy, and she's reaped the benefits of it. It sort of reminds me of a Fox News anchor, right? So the context is that the way that she was treating other women, particularly Fiona, is that she reminds me of Mrs. Waterford. That is the context, but the way that she's implying makes it sound like it has something to do with, I don't know, trans folks or something like that. It has nothing to do with that. So, good try, Cheshire. Good try.
By the way, or gender traitors. So, color me unimpressed. Color your little molehill of moral high ground concave.
He didn't. And yeah. I agree with you, Jason. Absolutely, I agree with you. I think that both of them are liars. I think Kyle's a liar too. I think they're all liars. I think Katie Toy's a liar.
Okay.
I think Chesh and Reds both have lies that they have not necessarily perpetuated themselves, but they have agreed to.
Okay. What? Lies that we have not
now we know why she's mad.
Oh, she's real mad.
Perpetuated?
Yes.
It's perpetuated the world you wanted
Wow.
to, but
I didn't even hear Minnow say this part.
Titties. She can't say perpetuated. I'm like, what is going on here?
Color you a rape apologist, Cheshire. You're a rape apologist. By
This is
definition.
Waterford, I'm telling you.
Yep.
I don't even know what this means. We finally got to her talking about me. I don't know what that means. So you don't think I'm a liar, but you think that I've agreed to allow a lie to stand? Is that so?
I think you tell the lie. But like, I know that that's a different position than what Minnow's saying, but I think you tell it.
I know that I know there's a lie that I'm not calling out. Is that what you're saying? I have questions. I don't know. Exploratory Minds for 5 says the worst of this is she knows exactly what she's doing, and it's all for mind games and gaslighting. Hell, she's Suitor 2.0. Ooh,
You know what?
Big,
Exploratory Minds is a
Jason.
fucking idiot. He's an idiot. Just don't listen to anything he says and you'll be fine.
Or you can listen to everything that he does say and laugh.
Right?
We're not barring you from talking to anybody. You can talk to
How is
anybody you
she
want.
anything
to.
remotely resembling Nick Suter? It's just, she's like a little YouTuber who has 500 subs right now. Hopefully she'll have 1,000.
Savage says you used a term from a movie and made a reference that she didn't get. Yes, I used a term from a book and a movie, or actually a show, a series on Hulu, right? So, but of course, yeah, she wouldn't get it. What's interesting is the teen moms got it right away. But,
They did, yeah. That's why they enlisted EKC People Suck to help out with that.
To help run defense.
Yep.
Jason for 199, who said they would never support me again, is again back supporting me. Saying Warden is innocent is defending him. I'm not going over this again. So, please, Ophelia, if you could give me some clarification on what the fuck this means.
That they're fine with, that they are complacent with,
Such as?
and yeah. Yeah.
Jason, we've talked about this and we've talked about it with you, so you don't have to. We've already answered you. You cannot accept our answer if you don't want to.
I don't
but it
know,
doesn't mean
Jason.
We're going to have the conversation every single time you decide to bring it up. So, you know what the answer is to this. You've already heard what the answer is to it. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to like it, but we're not going to go over it every single time you decide to pop in.
I see. Here's the other thing too about like him like reading the Katie Joy essay report. He said that me bringing up Warden and his connection to Warden and the fact that he had not said anything against Warden was quote unquote re-victimizing Warden's victim.
Oh god. Oh, I wasn't even gonna get. I didn't even notice this bit. Okay. You know that in Katie's situation, she was the victim who brought it up to people's attention and asked people to look into it, right? Like, she was encouraging people to talk about the thing that she was asking them to talk about, which was her victimization. With Warden, he's not the victim in this situation. Well, he could be the victim of, like, the court system if he was actually in it, hypothetically. But in the case of the person who was raped, then Warden is not the victim. You're the one bringing it up. So yes, done. Moving on.
Wait. Did you follow that at all?
I did, and it didn't make any sense at all. It was just nothing. It was just fucking nothing.
I was just waiting for something to like actually be said, but like it's just babble. What?
Everybody in her live chat are pretending like she's making some sort of sense. She's not. It's just senseless.
Exploratory Minds for 5 says the worst of this is she knows exactly what she's doing, and it's all for mind games and gaslighting. Hell, she's Suitor 2.0. Ooh, that's a big oof. I don't know. But hey, Jason. Suitor. Jason for 199, who said they would never support me again, is again back supporting me. Saying Warden is innocent is defending him. I'm not going over this again.
Yes, it is.
So, please,
right
Ophelia, if you could give me some clarification on what the fuck this means.
That they're fine with, that they are complacent with,
Such as?
and yeah. Yeah.
Jason, we've talked about this and we've talked about it with you, so you don't have to. We've already answered you. You cannot accept our answer if you don't want to, but it doesn't mean we're going to have the conversation every single time you decide to bring it up. So, you know what the answer is to this. You've already heard what the answer is to it. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to like it, but we're not going to go over it every single time you decide to pop in.
I see. Here's the other thing too about like him like reading the Katie Joy essay report. He said that me bringing up Warden and his connection to Warden and the fact that he had not said anything against Warden was quote unquote re-victimizing Warden's victim.
Oh god. Oh, I wasn't even gonna get. I didn't even notice this bit. Okay. You know that in Katie's situation, she was the victim who brought it up to people's attention and asked people to look into it, right? Like, she was encouraging people to talk about the thing that she was asking them to talk about, which was her victimization. With Warden,
I don't think she was encouraging people to open up her essay report and read it like it's story time with Roadhog. I don't think that would be at all what you would want. And so another lie, and then how they do it is in the most brutal, horrific fashion. Like Roadhog's a piece of shit, and they back that guy up, and all you have to do is watch a couple videos of him
So
and
is
see what he is.
EKC. EKC read it first.
Oh,
She's
did
the one
she?
that got the FOIA request. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I don't
these
like her
little-
based on
this-
her accent.
Yeah.
It triggers me. Ugh. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's Jersey or New York,
But
Manhattan,
these people
but
do
it's heavy.
horrible things from their YouTube channels, and other social media accounts, and then they act surprised when people question them. Look at, she is just so frustrated and dumbfounded, isn't she? Woo! I just
So
can't comprehend how you could come to this decision about me.
So everything that I've seen, KJP did not ask for people to look into it, and I agree with Fiona. So that's a lie. She's victim blaming a rape victim, yes, and there's video clips of this too.
Yes, she wants to be a victim, she said repeatedly.
Yeah, they read her police report on live air and reinserted they reinserted the redacted name of the victim. Wow. And they laughed at the details.
Yep. They had such a good time doing this. This is what they think entertainment is on this platform. Yeah, I don't even know how they still have a channel, any of these people.
But Manya says don't re-victimize victims, right? And then there's she wants to be a victim. I know I have that somewhere, and because we watched that video, she wants to be a victim, and that was fucking horrible. It was really horrible. Fiona's completely right. They read the report and the name was reinserted, and it's awful.
This was not long ago too, and even though a lot of us do not like the victim in question, yeah, it was horrifying. People were absolutely horrified that they'd done this. Yeah. It's 3
disgusting.
times this has happened to this woman.
And if it can happen to this person, it can happen to anybody, right?
And YouTube will not do anything about it. Gerard. That's the thing that blows my mind. Yeah.
Right. It is shocking, right? That you would think that this would be something that they would put the kibosh on, right? But no, it's still there. I was looking for.
You are right. It's horrifying beyond the pale. It's just so far gone. It's not even funny.
I think I found the clip. 1 second. Give me 1 second. I bet I could find it.
Oh yeah, that one. Wait till you see this, you guys.
I think it's this one. Oh, I found it.
But they're not gender traders or what's her name? Mrs. who? Mrs. What's her name? I can't remember it. From The Handmaid's Tale.
I'm sorry. I was focused. What was it? I'm sorry.
Mrs. Waterford.
Mrs. Waterford.
They're not Mrs. Waterfords, right?
No, but there's a clip of this, and I knew we had covered it, and so I was looking for it real quick. And yeah, it's the Mrs. Waterford has a coffee clutch. This one. This is again Menace to Sobriety's video, just so you're aware.
The answer is that it's absolutely okay to talk about it, because how do we make people aware of victims? How do we make people aware of what they have access to? How do we make people aware of, oh, hey, if you were, is by listening to victims. And for them to do that, they have to talk about it publicly. KJ didn't get attacked by any of us.
Nope, not one of us.
None of us went and attacked KJ
Never questioned your words.
or
Not
attacked her
any of us.
for her story. Nobody attacked her over that. She didn't even get it. Aaron didn't attack her by bringing that thing forward. That's not an attack on her. That's not re-victimizing her. That is.
Chef, I think what you mean is.
She doesn't think that's re-victimizing somebody?
Up is down and down is up, people. The sky is pink.
She's either insane or just
and he's
gaslights.
agreeing with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that video, and I guess it's on Menace of Sobriety's video, but like she's just like So much gaslighting, right? How do you process this? So hi to Gus. Hearts in the chat for Gus, please. It's always really good to see him. So we miss him. More Gus, please. More Gus in our lives. All right.
Nice to see you, sir.
Talk about a man that is really quick-witted and good on his feet for verbal commentary. Gus is one of the best. Most people lose their marbles or start spitting or start stuttering when they're mad, but like Gus is like sharp as a tack when he's mad. He's just like bam.
Gus should come in here and take my place. Yeah. I have no words tonight. You never do, but I have fewer words tonight than I usually do.
Yeah.
He's not the victim in this situation. Well, he could be the victim of like the court system if he was actually innocent, hypothetically. But in the case of the person who was raped, then Warden is not the victim. You're the one bringing it up.
Sokka says horns in the chat and then puts a brass horn.
But then in the same breath, he's saying that, saying that an assault didn't happen isn't the same thing as like rape apologetics.
Correct. Watch Quality and Obloquy. If you actually do not understand why saying theft did not occur is not the same as saying theft is okay, then you seriously go look. Aw, did Estella already get? Was that actually Estella?
Oh, Stephen Potts. Who's that?
I don't even know if that is or not. Whatever. Stephen Potts for 5 says apparently she can't the facts or the English. Rough.
Which I think we're late enough in the video where we can actually just talk about this and like YouTube isn't gonna get too mad at me. But
you don't have enough viewers for YouTube to get mad at you. Don't worry about it.
I did very much try to show up with claws retracted. Absolutely, holy Spackle, and that was on purpose.
Really? You tried to show up with claws retracted? Because that's interesting. Because you said you got really ticked off that you confronted him about it. Then you
she was pretty claws retracted, actually. Like she could have gone in for some swings and did not.
Elaine, are you? Oh, I'm gentle and I'm trying to be in good faith and I'm trying to like have a conversation so I can understand with all these biases that I brought to the table and all the research I didn't do. Like, you do realize that you've undermined your entire approach to your video. Like, at this point, if you're somebody who likes to delete videos when you've either gotten something wrong as part of your correction thing, you ought to be deleting these videos out of embarrassment, to be honest.
She can retract some things. Like, obviously, the condom stories, like, for one, whoever relayed it may have been incorrect, but we all know that it's not Steve's wife. So there's that. But, like... But like a lot of it that they're saying that she got wrong, it's like there's actually very little, and so they just want her to pull down the videos. It sounds like more than anything.
Honest at this point,
that was on purpose because when I showed up in the stream, they're absolutely bashing me, trying to twist every single thing that I said, and I knew if I came in like this, I was just gonna get punched in the face again, right?
So now you're accusing people of punching you in the face, and you're accusing people of twisting what you were saying, but they didn't do that at all. We've actually gone over it here already, because you did talk about medical, you did talk about his daughter, you did talk about his income. The 3 things that you claimed that you didn't talk about, while also admitting that you talked about it. Unicorn for 5 said, I said that, not Steve. Correct. Manya's the one who said you were re-victimizing people. Steve's not the one who said that, but color me not surprised that you can't get basic shit straight. KJ put out her story for public to discuss. Correct. The victim was herself was discussing this publicly. Correct. We went over it in that video where we were talking about that, and that was something that Aaron, EKC People Suck, brought up and was talking about when they pulled the police record.
There's a lot of victims that talk publicly, like Manya's hinted to things publicly. It doesn't mean that we're going to go talk about Manya's things that she hints to publicly. It's fucked up.
And the reason Aaron pulled the police record was because KJ was asking people and talking about it. So, you tell me, should we not listen to the victim in that case? Should we ignore the victim and not talk about their situation when they've requested that people talk about and look over their situation? No? Yes? Pick a lane. Pick a lane, figure out where you want to be, and be there. Have some consistency, especially if you want to play moral high ground, especially if you want to call everybody liars and say that they're bashing you and twisting everything that they said and accuse them of being rape apologists. Know what the fuck you're talking about.
I can't believe she did that.
Because I've had that happen recently and I don't want it to happen again.
You're muted.
I said there's not much that shocks me with Chess anymore. She's ridiculous.
Yeah,
right.
Kyle is not as supported as Steve and his friends pretend. Exactly. And that was people were like, oh,
You mean like Science First totally didn't support Steve or totally didn't support Kyle, and then I showed him bashing Kyle's victims? Huh. Are you excited?
I love how she spins that when like the person that she's actually saying is a victim is Steve. It's not that Science First bashed any other victim. It's Steve.
Because I'm getting all excited. I know. I'm sorry, buddy. Just a second.
you just keep hearing, no, like the people who are quote unquote supporting Kyle are like, oh, well, Kyle did like a bunch of shit that's wrong and we're not supporting Kyle. But
we're supporting Kyle. But we're supporting Kyle. You see, like, you are actively taking people on face value for what they're saying and ignoring their actions. Science First supported Kyle. I showed this.
Actually, yeah, Sokka, I'm gonna send you a link. Sokka wants to pop in to say something.
Okay.
So let's bring Sokka in.
There's Menace to Sobriety's video too, where he highlights this "she wants to be the victim" thing. It's time stamped if you want to play it. Oh wait, I think you already did.
Yeah,
Come on,
yeah.
Sokka. Please, I need help.
You need help. I'm a little tired myself. So, Sokka, I sent it to Discord. And so if you look at your Discord DMs, you'll see it. In the meantime, I was sent a thing. I'll get that queued up in a bit.
I think we've already played that thing that I was getting.
Yeah, I think we already did play that. We did play that.
But yeah, we'll
Okay.
get those links to Tarar because Tarar has some influence. He can look
Yeah.
into that for us. 3 different channels have done this to this woman, even though she,
Hello.
a lot of us don't like her. Hey,
All right, we
Sokka.
can hear you, Sokka. Welcome
Hey,
aboard.
what's up? Okay, I have to play this just because I love it. I love it so much. It is it's so
Got it.
great.
Are you sharing something? Sharing
Give
a
me
screen?
1 second.
Just make sure you click the little button for audio.
Yeah, share
There it
audio.
is. Okay.
Okay.
So, it's just the tweet. This is amazing. I love this. Is it being displayed? Am I up? Am I doing it?
Yep, you're on air there. I see you.
Okay. So they have this thing. They have this stupid idea. All of them. These people are just they can't wrap their head around this because it's never about their behavior. It's never about the things that they do or say. It comes back to like 2 things. One, apparently everybody supports Kyle. I think that like most of us are quite vocal or on the record basically saying, fuck Kyle. The guy, did screw Steve over. Steve's entitled to something. We're not a fan of Kyle. A lot of us are just like laughing about this stuff because the fact that this even went to court, is absolutely hilarious. Congratulations. He's suing for, Steve's suing for 2 years worth of work that most people make in like 4 or 5 months. Okay.
Right.
Like congratulations. And the complete and absolute just ridiculous idea that somehow in an Arna Garnishy state, he's actually going to get any money out of this whatsoever. It is hilarious to us to watch. Yes, Steve got fucked over. He probably should have taken, gotten something from this. Unfortunately, everything that he's done this up to this point to try to get anything, he's not going to do it. So most people don't support him. So Science First is like one of those people that say that's never supported Kyle and at all. And so he puts a challenge out there. He's like, I will give $100 to a charity of your choice if you can show me where I support Kyle. This is the tweet. This is the tweet that fucking Cheshire Vic found that basically says Rob, look at this. Rob supports Kyle. And like this is how fucking illiterate, how stupid these people are. Okay.
Yep.
My support goes out to the people who morally and financially supported Kyle in the non-sect case. And that's not support Kyle. That's a support to the people who supported Kyle. But why? Because there are worse things to be than wrong. When you're getting called stupid for falling for his lies, Kyle's lies, recall that there wouldn't be a case if Steve hadn't fallen for it too. He's calling Kyle a liar. He's telling the people that support Kyle, essentially, yeah, you're idiots. You know, I feel bad for you because you got conned by Kyle. Right. This is what they think is support of Kyle. How stupid. Like, literally, think about this for a second. How stupid does this person have to be? And this is like, and again, because they're dickless, ballless wonders of simps that follow them around, do not have the testicular fortitude to even stand up and be like, wait a second. That they all just kind of smile along. It's like, oh, yeah, hey, good for you, Cheshire. Way to go. You know, oh, you totally pwned him. Like, can none of them read? I find it hard to believe that they're all this stupid. Like, between like the little shit that she said earlier, the whole little spiel that we still bring up, it's like pinned on the Discord of, you know, Cheshire's in-depth analysis of what critical thinking is. Like, she's an idiot. It's funny. There's a reason why we call her 62 IQ. You know, it's because, I mean, and that's being generous. Okay, honestly, that's being generous. When she looks at this and says, yeah, that's, I see the word support. I see the word Kyle. I don't understand the rest of this. But okay. I think I have something here, guys. Good work.
Yep. Somebody who actually shows a little bit of insight into what actually happened with Kyle and how he fooled us. Yeah.
And that's all I want to get out there. I want to get out just because I love it. I love it. I want more content from this person because the clips are absolutely hilarious. Okay. Like, she is just so stupid. It's great. And there's this great moment too. Like, and you see it a lot of this video where like she'll go and she'll say something and she'll think she made a point. And there's almost like a pause for applause sign, and she's sitting there, and you know, does like the
and then she'll sip her tea there. Sometimes. Yeah, she's like,
and it's just like, I love those moments. I love those moments. Those are the moments that I love because you're sitting back there, just like, oh, she's about to make a point. Oh, that was brutal. That was terrible.
Let's pretend like this person I'm attacking, who's making perfect sense, is just so stupid that I have to do a face palm. Yeah, it's surreal.
Oh, it's great. Anyway, I think keep on going with it. I just really wanted to address that because I did do the Twitter post on that, and I brought this up because again, like it was in direct response, like the day before, somebody was asking her, just like, hey, do you really feel like you're being gang stalked? And she's just like, huh? And she found some paper on gang stalking and linked it. And clearly did not read it because what it is it's basically saying just like, listen, like the whole paper is from somebody who studied gang stalking, but not necessarily the act of gang stalking. It studies people that claim gang stalking, recognizes it as a type of psychological illness, and talks about the problems of of actually treating and assessing people with gang stalk that believe they're being gang stalked because they seclude themselves in echo chambers and don't allow like any proper information. I mean, it does. Ironically, it actually describes them completely, but probably not in the way that they wanted it to. Like these are fucking big brain moves here. Fucking IQ, like high IQ. Fucking 62 IQ for the win. Chesh, you go, girl. We love you. Keep it going. I love it. Thank you. That's all I got.
Holy shit. Brutal.
I don't fucking know. Meanwhile, his girlfriend/wife is on Jimmy Snow's channel with Matt Dillahunty, Dragnot, and Nate
Shit about anything but themselves.
It's almost like I didn't do it.
It's from the gang stalker. They zapped the laser in through her house and it just blew up her wine glass.
I don't fucking know. Crash. Oh my god. And she was flailing around at that point, and so she flailed her glass right off the desk.
A girlfriend said on a live stream with somebody else we hate, it must be a conspiracy. Holy crap.
by searching Kyle in his fucking Twitter, right? Like, so bullshit.
Like, you also need to see the other side of it, and that was really
You mean that we've gotten information that there's a Discord that spends 24/7 that Kyle used to fall asleep to, supporting Kyle and shitting on all of us? That? Or did you not look into that? You don't know about that Discord, or is that the Discord you're in? Where people are...
Oh my god.
I haven't been invited to the support Kyle Discord. I'm in the Discord that goes fuck Kyle and fuck McRae Discord. I'm in that Discord. But I didn't know there was a whole dedicated Discord to supporting Kyle. Wow, you learn something every day.
And I happen to know this. I wonder how she knows that if she's not in there herself. I
don't know. She knows something I don't know.
She must really want to know about Kyle and what he's up to.
It might be a little bit of a misnomer, but she's not the dumb fuck of this Dumb Fuck Friday, by the way. If anybody's figured that out yet. This is not the person who is the dumb fuck or dumb feck for Dumb Feck Friday this Friday.
It's me, I'm Cheshire, I'm the dumb fuck.
It's not.
She just doesn't know it yet because he's
dumb.
dumb.
The dumb feck this Friday. Hit play.
The two camps that I was dealing with to start with, which I do have to like say the caveat, this is not just two camps, but when I first started looking at, there was one camp that was saying, actually, no, we don't really support Kyle. Kyle's a piece of shit, but like, there's also this other shit going on that like wasn't really made aware to the public.
You mean Laura? Or are you talking about Batty? Are you talking about Batty trying to accuse us all of murder?
Nobody's talking about Batty.
In the background and the conspiracy theory?
The only person that talks about Batty is Batty.
Is it 4 camps? Is it 2 camps? Is it 3 camps? Is it no camps? Or
however many camps that he pisses off.
Kyle. We just want to fuck over Steve in any way possible. Is that what you're talking about? Because there's video of her saying that. That one? No?
She doesn't even know who Lauren Batty is, see?
What is it that
Savage
hasn't been made aware
Minnows
of the
not
public?
replying.
Are you talking about negative exponents when I waited for 16 hours for his video after also waiting for 2 weeks for him to send me
He
information
gave you a video, you bitch. You haven't watched it.
Only video he ever did was...
She's a troll. Cheshire is a troll.
Or are you talking about the new video that he did trying to imply that I was lying, but actually showed video clips of me being consistent? Or at least in the first 10 minutes, because that's as far as I got before we got distracted by the lady trying to claim that we were stealing content.
Oh my goodness. Not that.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my god.
And you don't know what you're talking about so much that I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my goodness.
And then there was this other camp that was just saying, like, Kyle's a piece of shit, and if you have any questions, fuck you, and go to hell. And,
who was this? This is what I mean. You're heavily implying that the people that were supporting...
Gus asks, who is Ophelia and why does she only talk in the morning? Well, Ophelia is Savage Minnow in chat. So, Gus, meet Ophelia, who is Savage Minnow. Savage Minnow, meet one of the best wordsmiths I've ever met in my life, Gus. Yeah. I don't know how else to describe. So Savage is new to us. So she showed up, and I guess she like had been hanging out with Jimmy Snow and that side of the world. And I'm not sure if she's meandered into the shills or wherever, but like somewhere in that kind of side of the corner. And then decided to do videos kind of going backwards about different events and started exploring the non sequitur thing. But when she explored the non sequitur thing, she did not get the approved version, and the Goblin is quite mad at the minnow. So yeah, so there's a lot of twittering on there, and there's a lot of cheese traps being laid, you know, because she's very clever, this Goblin Cheshire, with her cheese traps she's laying. And she's just really mad because she thinks Steve mishandled a one-on-one conversation with her, and she wanted claws out. And had she been in that seat where Manya was, that conversation would have gone south much quicker. So she's a little bit upset.
Based on, like, you've said this on Twitter, you said this here, you said this over here. Those cumulatively make me think that what you're saying is that people that support Steve, when you ask questions, told you to go fuck yourself. Who? That's not revealing a source, because they weren't a source. They told you to go fuck yourself. So who was it? Who was it telling you to go fuck yourself? Because again, I'll ask the chat. Chat, hey, real quick, any of you get any messages from this person? You know, if you did get a message from Ophelia asking you about what was going on, get a 1 in the chat. 2 in the chat if you did not receive any question or messages or tweets from Ophelia.
I hit a 2. I didn't
was
get a
going
message, so I
I'm
hit a
also
2,
gonna go ahead
but
and
they
say
don't
I
care.
have never seen this person before this, and I have no comments in any of my videos from this person asking a single question. And if I recall, the next video that we're going to get to, Steve asked her if she had any questions, and she said she didn't have any. And yet she's implying that she's still getting this answer from people.
Kren, you are a pathetic little...
Who were you talking to, Ophelia, that was giving you that kind of answer? You don't have to reveal your source, because they weren't a source. Or what's your excuse going to be this time for not actually verifying for anybody your source is? Because this thing is, you tell people that, hey, it's really important to verify your source, but because of the way you've presented this, nobody can verify.
You're muted.
I didn't have a conversation with Ophelia by then, so I typed a 2. I wasn't approached on the situation, so I was like, nope, didn't talk to me.
I'm sorry, I went to get coffee a second. I didn't know the question.
So
why are you agreeing with all the simps? I don't understand.
No, I wasn't agreeing. I was just like, Ophelia didn't talk to me. So I was just like,
She's very animated tonight.
Oh my god, yeah, she is. She is. Let me see here. I'm gonna just we need.
Must suck to be her.
We need a palate cleanser here.
What do you got for me? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. We need a palate cleanser. So we're gonna take a brief break. You get a drink or whatever. We're gonna play a little song for you. We think it's appropriate.
Everybody go get yourself a nice drink. Maybe a couple tacos.
Tacos.
Order a pizza.
I do love me some tacos.
I wish I could find some tacos to eat.
We have fish tacos just down the road.
Ew, gross.
All right. Here's an appropriate song.
Shut the fuck up. You're a fucking cunt. Shut the fuck up.
Are you doing that live?
You're a stupid cunt. Suck my dick. Shut the fuck up. Stop being a fucking cunt. Shut the fuck up. Nobody even wants you here. What? Yeah. I just wanna let you know you're a stupid fucking cunt. Go ahead and run your mouth, pussy. I don't give a fuck. You're a stupid piece of shit. You're a stupid fucking bitch. Get the fuck up off my dick. Get the fuck up off my dick. Like, please end your fucking life. Please end your fucking life. I really gotta emphasize.
Okay, don't end your life. We're gonna cut off right there.
Yeah, they say a lot of nasty stuff. I'm sorry you're in the hospital, secret squirrel. Secret squirrel. Get the nurses and get you some crackers. And
get some crackers.
Or water.
I don't agree with the end your stupid life. We want you to keep making videos. But the rest of the stuff I agree with.
Song. Yeah.
I need the version that the Geek Room has, because that gets dark really quickly. Did Roadhog write this song?
Right? Yeah.
Oh, man.
I think you could play Fuck You by, what's her name? The Fuck You song. Fuck you. Fuck you very, very much. 'Cause your words don't translate. Actually, it's really nice. Everything in it is very polite. That song. And
Polite
PC.
fuck yous.
Yeah. There's not a un-PC thing in it, and it's really good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Maestro? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Oh, we're still here. We're just taking a break.
Don't worry.
Get your snacks. Get the nurse to get your snack secrets going. And morphine.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck
My inner child. That's for you, honey. Oh, nice. We need to get you a tutu. We can find a crinoline and make you one. And
That's a
here's the
real
secret
thing.
squirrel.
That's Miley Jackson Fuck You Symphony. So that's what you see that's sampled in Drag's openings, and the Geek Room uses it, and then obviously Monty and Hannibal and Monty use it as well. So it is quite handy sometimes when you need to get that out of your system and say fuck you a million times, right?
Yeah. That is a pretty good one. I was thinking of the Lily Allen. I didn't expect that. That was great.
The Fuck You Symphony? Yeah. I only
Yeah.
knew about that because of Hannibal and Monty. Actually, I didn't know about that before. And then I was like, oh, this is a good song to know about.
Yeah. It is. We should use it more often.
Uh-oh. Story time with Gus. I remember when Dieter used to be nice, mild Christian girl. Now she goes in the bars on the docks.
It's worse than that.
And in a minute, sailors and bikers come flying out the windows.
Fucking windows, yeah. Yep. True
I
story.
used to be sweet once. This is true. What has happened to me? The internet has happened to me. That's what's happened.
Her innocence is gone.
It is gone. I don't know what happened there. Yeah. Whew, that's too much of me. We're gonna go back to, there we go. Whew, that was scary. Sorry about that.
No, you look great.
All right. All right, so back to the chore that we call Cheshire.
Oh my God, no, we're not doing all 4 hours of this. I do not consent.
I was gonna skip through actually, so let's see here.
Let's get to the part where she's really mad.
I don't know where that is.
Oh God.
Let's skip around then.
Like, she's mad now.
Steve keeps fucking trying to have conversations with people like this.
She looks pretty loony there. Let's go there.
All right, yeah. Maybe she'll break another wine glass.
Oh, okay. Maybe we found it already.
People who still support Steve, you guys know who you are. Tell me why. Why would you still support this horrid man that you're sitting around laughing with and having no problem with and getting along just fine because you agree that people should be allowed to platform and stream about whatever they want with whoever they want. But
my name comes from Gus, by the way, y'all.
The next day.
Just send Minnow a link.
I don't even know if this was directly the next day. It might have been there too after. Anyway.
In D&D called a chaos, was it like a chaos goblin or something like that? It's a person.
She must join, or she can join.
A murder hobo. Steve, that's a murder hobo. Those are player characters that run around and just kill everybody for XP. That's what's a murder hobo. It has nothing to do with goblins.
Well,
I mean, they probably murder all of the goblins, but that's standard. D&D is racist against goblins, confirmed. It's fine. That's a murder hobo, but yeah, I've had conversations about my scale of how I view trolling and what my scale is about heckling and then accusing people of murder.
Okay. Well, I definitely am not accusing people of murder. So
she uses. You have to ask her, but yeah. But when it comes to Kyle, look, we all trusted Kyle. I trusted Kyle initially. I
did
knew
it.
that he was a felon. I knew that he had been convicted, but I was willing to look past it, just like it was other people.
And that's totally I said that in the first part of my stream about Kyle is that's something that I definitely would be willing. I have good friends in my life that are convicted felons.
Yeah,
my dad's very best friend, who I consider an uncle, is a convicted felon.
Look at her face.
So why do you have such a problem with Warden? Is it the specific crime then?
Because he's a fucking rapist.
Why are you so? You have friends who are convicted felons, but you don't like.
He's a fucking rapist who's indicted for raping his child. You stupid person. I don't know how that's not obvious to everybody.
It's weird to me that she's like, is it the specific crime? As if R is not upsetting. That's a crime that doesn't matter. But we're gonna be really upset about Kyle's drug conviction, right? That's a crime that matters, right? Cheshire, there are some crimes that are hideous.
You're a thief, Cheshire. You're a thief. You tried taking something that you didn't build. Something you had nothing to do with and thought that you could become part of it. Look at you, how mad you're getting because of Kyle.
I love how she's just as if the crime doesn't matter though, because it does. In my threat meter line, it does.
Guy who was convicted.
Oh, making faces at the camera. That helps.
You're very unclear. I don't know where you stand because depending on where and when you are, you're standing in a different place.
Come on, Minnow.
You ever seen those drivers when they're just I need to get to the other side. I'm trying to get around, and they're just all in every single lane? Pick a lane. Pick a lane. What? If you have a problem or you have a question, state it clearly.
I thought you learned your lesson about telling people to stay in a lane.
I think I grew up, again, like I said, my dad's best friend. I grew up kind of with that idea of you look at the content of a person's character, and
Is she running out of words? Is that what that is, or is she having a fit and we have to call?
She's been doing this for 2 hours and 30 minutes now. No words. She's just making faces, acting like she doesn't understand, and pretending like the other person is somehow confused. So the only people who are confused are her and the people in her live chat right now, including Intrigue Feline.
Mr. Serious.
My brain exploded.
Oh, good. Is that the end of it now? Can we move on? Ew, I'm seeing cleavage. Not to be mistaken with cleavage.
You look at the content of a person's character, And that's how you judge somebody. You look at the content of a person's character, meaning that somebody could do something wrong over here, but still be good about this thing over here. Meaning you can separate, you have the brain power to separate out how somebody could have done a bad thing, but be good at something else. Meaning that Nazi Germany, really bad. A lot of medical advancement, Nazi Germany still bad. Yeah? So that means that Earl David Warden, bad guy.
For this stream, since he's not in the loop here,
bad guy.
Gus, I really would like you on, but I think with this, you haven't been following this as closely.
Is that what you're getting at? I'm curious to know a little bit, actually. She's so offended about Warden. I'm curious to know what she actually knows about the guy. I'm curious to know, what she knows about the guy.
I'm curious what you know about the guy.
Of separating out what he's been convicted of, what he's been accused of and indicted for currently versus what he was, where his standing was when Steve talked to him, considering that she couldn't separate that out, that Warden and Steve talking to Warden had nothing to do with non sequitur and took place after the non.
What is she doing?
She's lying. She's pretending. Yeah.
Is she trying to conflate it on purpose and saying oh, you don't know the difference between him abusing children, which is what he's indicted for later?
She's a fucking liar.
I haven't seen her confused on that. Yeah. You look at the actions in totality, right? But also, I think the crime matters. There's certain crimes that are based on.
There absolutely are crimes that shouldn't be crimes. Yeah. And then they're, oh Jesus, the Innocence Project. Anyway.
Yeah, Gus, I with this one, because it's just focused on this situation, then but I want to do some more open hangouts, and I would really love you to come on open hangouts. It'll be so fun.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I just try not to completely change and derail directions, and just kind of do them separate.
We got to get through this, Gus. It's 4 hours of freaking.
Yeah, I'm skipping. This is stupid.
Bully.
What was it you said?
Brainless bully night.
Right near the beginning. Oh my God, Steve. Right near the beginning, I believe you said something. I was on Steve's show.
Every time she bangs, I look and see if I banged my microphone, but it's not me.
Blah. Here we go.
Not me.
Let's play this again real quick. What did you do instead of doing what you said you were gonna do?
Well, we can talk about that if you guys have any questions about it. Somebody in his comments did ask me to correct one thing on my video, and that is that he is not friends with Warden, the guy that we talked about in his video. He's just had him on his show and called him an honorable dude. And when I asked him directly, said, if you think Warden is a piece of shit, why can't you just say Warden's a piece of shit? And he wouldn't do it. And
so you didn't clarify. You promised. You said you would, and you didn't. And you doubled down.
Is she complaining about double downing?
Her mouth has been in that position quite a lot tonight. Did you notice? I mean, it's been making the O shape every time you stop it.
It's not on purpose. It's not on purpose when I do that. I'm sorry. I don't mean to traumatize you on that. It's just.
Oh,
so
is Chesh making those noises still? I'm sorry, Minnow.
The booming noises. Yeah, she makes the boom noises. I'm sorry about that.
Can the birth of a McCrazy be aborted? Does it matter how kind and amicable and how much leeway Steve gives you in the shit you said about him? Does it matter that you didn't verify shit? Does it matter that all of your sources aren't primary and are incredibly one-sided? Does it matter that they looked past all of that for you, tried to...
The other thing is your sources aren't primary and incredibly biased. At the same time, if she went to the primary, you'll find that the primary is incredibly biased. What?
Ophelia, can you believe you've done this? Have you've gotten this reaction from this chick? I mean, really, I can't. Honestly, she is so mad. You losing
okay,
your shit, Goblin.
It's okay. If you're over 3, you can't be aborted by Cheshire, so that's good. Anybody, though, that's 3 and under is fair game, so we're good.
To empathize with you and understand where you were coming from, and then offer to give you more information. You didn't come and ask anybody about what the fuck was going on before you made this video. You didn't reach out to people to find out what information you got wrong. And the fact that Steve fucking believed you. Because of course he did. Because of course he did. Because you're a bitch who is taking advantage of Steve's good fucking will. Where is it?
Whoa.
Where's your correction? Where's your actual going in to do more research? Give me links. Send me.
So
damn.
Taking advantage of Steve's goodwill. Did you hear that?
No, did you just hear her call her a bitch? What the
She's mad.
fuck?
Shut the fuck up. I've been wondering for a little bit why she's escalated into I'm big mad right there. And I think some of it is something happened that was out of her control. And I think Manya failed her job of making Steve not step in the derp, and Steve steps in the derp, and then she's just like mad because like she is like, oh shit, look at all the stuff we have to deal with now. Like she's mad. Oh man.
On behalf of myself and everyone in the live chat, go fuck yourself, Cheshire.
Links, come to me, do all of my work for me, please, I beg you, I can't think for myself, I don't know how to do research. Oh, well, here's a whole slew of fucking shitheads, they're just gonna hand you everything on a silver platter and then watch you fucking burn for it. The same thing they did with fucking Kyle.
All the people that I
hate to be
can't
the bearer of bad
control.
news. I am not as kind-hearted as Steve is. I'm still
You're not kind-hearted at all.
more than happy to have this conversation with you since you asked me to have the conversation in the first place, but now you know what a good number of my questions will be ahead of time, so you can come prepared. Look at how nice of a person I am. But
Oh, so nice.
I think you're full of shit. I think you're full of shit. And we can have that conversation.
There's a lot of people that think you're full of shit, Cheshire. A lot of people.
You can stream on your Twitch, I can stream on my channel, we'll get in a call, we'll get the whole thing done. The whole thing rapsies. That way you don't have any additional control, I don't have any additional control, perfectly neutral, we're good to go. You're getting the same fucking offer that everybody else has got.
They don't ever give people neutral grounds, just so you're aware. Like every time they have somebody in, the most neutral thing I've actually seen was Manya and Steve in there with you. But oftentimes what they do is they bring you in with a panel of people, and then Steve decides to do righteous indignation yelling, ah, or reds, ah, you have done something wrong, and I'm going to act extra offended and emotional. And then they'll back away, and then they'll let you get handled by 4 other people. That's usually how they do these things. So you can do that and try and experiment, but I have yet to see them actually do a calm one-on-one where it's a neutral party. That's not what they do.
I hear Roofhiff's wife has stopped these psychopaths from spending his money too.
Oh, really? Well, dang. I guess they're just going to have to hope that Manya super chats more. Wow.
This offer, Unirox had this offer, Negative Exponents had this offer. None of them fucking take it. The only person who's actually taken it is Gary. You want to have a Gary conversation with me? I'm here for it. But I'm not as kind as Steve is. Steve is trying to be amicable. Steve is trying. She
had a conversation with Gary because Gary is very easily tricked into misrepresenting arguments and misspeaking.
And actually, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and write that down. Literally head injury, but like bear with me while I literally write that down to like put it in my updates.
Hey, there you go. She wrote it down. She wrote it down that she was going to correct herself and then doubled down. She had a note to write it down. Guess she doesn't get to use the head injury as an excuse.
Nothing wrong note taking. No, and look, I don't expect people to come to conclusions right off the bat. I always tell people just be objective and look at things. That's all I'm going to ask because you think, look, the people that are.
Oh, interesting. Steve's encouraging people to go look into it, and then on Twitter you accused him of saying Steve discouraging people from looking into it. You got it.
In my audience, you don't think they came to their conclusions without looking at evidence and asking questions and experiencing what they've experienced?
Some of them, yes.
Yeah, some of them. Well, some of them are just dicks like Smitty. Yeah, Smitty's a dick, but
Wow, look at how hard of a time and what a good job you're doing confronting Steve with all of the twisting of words he's doing. It looks like you're sure having a good time having a conversation. Huh. Big bad Steve over here. Uh-huh.
He's not a dishonest dick, and that's a difference. I don't care if people can be assholes. That's perfectly fine. Reds is an asshole.
Yeah, I think it's fair to correct the friend comment, but I don't know why you derived and used the friend comment, Savage. I would just say that no, they wouldn't be friends, but it's weird how he defends him as if he is a friend. So, like, the defense of, like, so-and-so would never do that. They're a nice dude. Like, usually would be a friend, right? But, like, they're not friends.
Warden and I had some emails about all this stuff. So, I mean, like, Warden...
Oh, you and Warden?
They were online friends, yeah. Online.
Oh, wow.
But, so... I don't know. Steve did give that impression at one point. He believed him. He heard his story, talked to all his friends, all that stuff. Why? If you're just going to interview him for his police auditing, why did you talk about his other shit? Because you became closer in friendship with him over the internet. That's all. She probably heard me say that. Closer in friendship. Where I started hearing Steve say, I've heard his whole story. I believe him. I've listened empathetically to his side of the story. So to do that, you would have had to become closer than just some guy that, you had on your channel one day, right? At one point, you also claimed to have secret evidence that no one else had. So you would have had to have been friends in order to obtain that. So it doesn't mean an actual friend in your, everyday life, but certainly you became closer in your friendship than just I'm going to have you on my channel, and then I'm not going to talk about you anymore after that. No, you went out and defended him to multiple people, multiple times on multiple social platforms, giving him cover for his story and defending a crime that he committed against several women. That's easy to confuse. Yeah, you're acting like you know things about this guy that nobody else does. You've talked to his friends. Okay. So that's a little bit more than a professional relationship, isn't it?
Good night, Secret Squirrel.
All hail the Secret Squirrel. We
Rest.
love you. I hope you get better soon.
Dream of all the nuts buried in your little cubbies and branches and things, and sleep well on your branch.
One of those things. That's one of those things. I say, there are things that we could agree to disagree about.
Yeah.
Whether or not pineapple belongs on pizza.
It doesn't. That's a fact.
Whether a straw has one hole or two. We can disagree. We can disagree on other things too, so long as it's not literally a matter of life and death.
Is a hot dog a sandwich? As long as it's not a matter of life and death. Really.
I think that there are some things that literally there's a bar where you can't agree to disagree.
Well, I mean,
I don't think that we come to one of those.
Well, my standards are
I don't
more
think that we come to one of those. That's what I'm saying.
So you don't think that you've come to one of those situations where you can agree to disagree? You don't think that you've come to one of those decisions?
Cheshire is really mad that she's a little too friendly. She doesn't seem to like this.
Who defends this kind of an idiot? Seriously, this idiot on the internet, Steve McCrae. Who goes to these lengths to spend 4 hours defending him? It's so pathetic.
And yet here you are,
Waterford,
pulling this shit. God damn it, Steve.
I've decided I'll never have a Holocaust in Iran, right? That's just my personal
Good, I
thing,
like that.
right? I mean, because
Finally had some sort of standard, right?
You know,
Why do you appreciate that? It has nothing to do with you.
I mean, I'm anti.
How do you know? Do you know if she's Jewish? Maybe it does have something to do with her. Like, like you
I'll
make
have a
this
serial
declaration.
rapist on, but I won't have a Holocaust denier on.
Right,
Okay,
right.
Holocaust
He's got
deniers
standards.
don't actually hurt people today. They're idiots and they're wrong and they're awful, horrible bigots. But they are not like ruining women's lives by raping them at the gun. Yeah.
Right. They're horrible, but like,
I don't
yeah.
get it.
Yeah, they're not, starting a new Holocaust per se.
But
yeah.
Holocaust deniers, no. White nationalists are fine. Holocaust deniers, no. Yeah. You make a lot of fucking sense.
Anti-Semitic. I'm a bad.
Which is funny because she's got somebody in her comment sections calling Steve anti-Semitic, and she's totally fine with that and leaving that there. All right.
Cultural
Use the word shekels.
It's, by the
on
way,
Jonathan
under a
Presley's
comment that
podcast.
Steve left to her, trying to
Yeah, he
reach out to
did.
her to clear up any misunderstandings. Huh.
And also with the name McRae, that
She's
does
strictly
but,
possible.
My mom's Jewish. Which makes me
maternal
Jewish.
heritage.
Yeah.
So exactly.
I know what keppel is. It's Yiddish. And Shannon for the goyim.
I was going to ask about a bris, but I won't.
I don't. You know what? The way certain morals do certain things, I find to be reprehensible. I don't get it. But I do like bar mitzvahs because the food is freaking amazing. You have a right to defend yourself if you want to come in, and I've always allowed for that. I want to have a discussion with you.
Wow, Steve is amicable and willing to have discussions with people that disagree with him and people who are critical of him? You mean she didn't just get bullied out of the side chat? You mean she was welcome to come in and have a conversation? You mean they had actually a pretty good conversation where they seem to have reached they seem to have reached an understanding, and then she goes live on Twitter and also goes live doing this? Big bad Steve.
Done, and I leave. That's it. And I want to give the same respect to anybody else. And the other thing was that what was it? Now I forgot the second one. What was the other thing we codified that didn't get to the community?
Steve
Anya
was
gets
nice to her.
$50.
She should kiss her his
yeah,
ass now.
I know what it was. If you're talking about something in a video, and they're not, like somebody who's actually caused harm to people, like the trolls, they have a right to come in and defend themselves.
Yes, Steve is saying that he...
The thing is, he assigns these like real bizarre shades of like, you've done harm to people in real life, and like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, he does these things where he assigns things like that to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to clarify something. HD says there are still Holocaust survivors alive. Yes, I know it would be horrible to give a Holocaust denier a platform, but Steve earlier had said he's had white nationalists on, right?
Right.
These are people who, they're white nationalists, and they're, not far from Holocaust deniers, really. So I don't know where what kind of little signaling he's putting out here. There are people I won't have on. They just happen to be Holocaust deniers. Okay. But anybody else is fine. As long as you're not a Holocaust denier.
As long as it's not his personal trigger, right? If he just deems it's no big deal, right? It's no big deal, was what he said about Warden. If I'm wrong, no big deal.
draws a line when it comes to people who he's willing. He has a line of people he would not allow on. So a good example would be Jim. Jim Hall came on, made threats towards me, and you notice that Jim's not around anymore. Like physical threats that he was like going to put my head through a wall.
Jim didn't actually make a physical threat. He said that he didn't want to be within 6 feet of you.
Yeah, he felt violent impulses toward you. That's not saying he's going to hurt you, but, he lost his shit. Good job, troll. Well done. Well done.
Gus says, Chess makes the same hypergeneralizations that people make defending Darth Dawkins because someone behaves nicely once in a while, or maybe even for an extended period of time. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird, right?
She also seems to think that because Steve was not vicious toward her on this live stream, that Minnow should just continue to kiss Steve's ass for the rest of time or something. Yeah. Like they thought with Bill Ludlow. Steve was nice to him and did something nice for him, so he should tolerate every fucking horrible thing that Steve ever does, right? That type of thing. It's not how it works in the adult world, Cheshire. Yeah. You should be nice to people. You should be polite and respectful with them. That's the way it should work. That doesn't mean you remain uncritical toward them when they're doing stupid shit. like Steve does constantly.
Yep. Notice how he's going on about platforming, which was never the issue. Yeah. Well, part of the conflation there is the you ought not to platform the rapist. Like, that is something that, like, other people have said. But the harder the issue is how he handled it afterwards, right? Like, I believe he's honorable. I think that it was a convoluted story, all that kind of excuses that he made. That's where people were really focusing.
He's got so many subscribers that only a few of us know what really the story is about his 1985 rape convictions. You only know half the story, sock account. I know the other half. And believe me, it was bullshit. People get strung up on bullshit charges all the time. Yeah. So people aren't being critical about this. They're not, they're not using their critical thinking abilities or whatever the shit he was saying to Sokka. It's the same stuff he was saying in public. And that is why he got the
You'll notice that
criticism.
he's not around anymore. And that was a difficult thing. That was a thing. It took time to figure out what had gone on and how to approach it. So that would be one of the people that Steve would not allow to have on, not without like a shitload of work. Now Steve might allow that eventually if Jim was able to reconcile, but it would be some time and it wouldn't be without
Jim would have to be Goblin approved.
Particularly if I was there.
I'm sure Jim doesn't give a rat's ass
with me.
about
Because I was the one who was
being
threatened.
approved by Steve. I'm
That's what
just guessing.
He's talking about drawing the line there. That's what he means by actual harm. Golden Unicorn for 50 for Chash and Puck. This is giving me cancer. This is the second time I watch this, by the way. I had to watch it the first time. I had to watch it through to make sure that I got out all of my scree, like my scree about like I.
She says it's giving me cancer. I'm like, jeez.
Oh man, did she already like blow her top, and we didn't have anything more? Because I want to see her getting really mad.
No, the most that I think she does is she rocks back and forth, and then she said the B word. Like,
I think I tried to restart the video when she came in like 3 or 4 times, and I was just like, "Why are you crying?"
Why are you crying?
Which is non-existent because he had him as a guest once. It'd probably be a pretty boring video. Go watch Colony and Obloquy. It's kind of a boring video. But if you want to talk about who Steve is in relation to the non sequitur showcase, it has nothing to do with Warden at all. It was all after the fact. Fix your shit.
Let me wrap
a bow on this real quick, because here's where it's left off. I've established myself as somebody who will now, don't give a flying fuck what anybody thinks, have on who I want on at any time for whatever reason my channel. That's established. Whether people agree with it.
He acts like that's a good thing, actually. Like, I understand like having, controversial guests and stuff like that, but the difference is like, you went to bat for the guy, like that's the problem.
Yeah, that's what we keep saying.
They're not. That's fine.
This is true. There has been times where Steve has talked to other people like me about whether or not he wants to have a stream, and he'll have that discussion. But he will make his own decision. Sometimes he'll ask what people's opinions are, but you don't get to be like, "Oh well, what do you mean? You guys keep bringing it up, bitch. We've talked about this so many goddamn times. None of us want to talk about this anymore. You brought it up. You made this about Warden again. You tried to tie it to non sequitur shit. Are you serious?" How the fuck do you have your Kyle videos talking about Steve, your Steve video is talking about Warden, you have a KJ video that's talking about almost fucking nothing, and you didn't make a video about Boole?
Well, for one, Boole's the man behind the curtain that mashes buttons, right? Like, he's a producer. He's a guy that cues videos up and presses play, right? So, like, I'm not quite sure. Most people don't talk about producers. Bull quit producing for the Geek Room, right, and some other shows because of Steve-O, right, to try to be more allied with him, and then Bull's position was replaced by 17-year-old.
Bull's the guy that they manipulated and used and let get involved with a person who was faking cancer. Yeah.
Or at least, I'm sorry, I misspoke for the Geek Room. Hannibal and Monty, right? Yeah, Hannibal and Monty have a producer. But like this whole like he cues the videos up and presses play. But like, did he do the artwork or did he set the marketing? No. Like Bull's role is helping the wheels run. It's really sad that he died. But like making a video about Saint Bull, I mean, you could talk about non sequitur a lot and never actually mention Bull because he's a sort of a player on the behind the curtains, like for the audience. Like he's not a talking head.
He's the guy that probably showed Red's rhetoric, how much income was coming in, because he had access to the back end of the show, stuff like that. Yeah. And he's the guy whose computer they wanted to smash after he had passed away.
Yes, it's unfortunate. HD Bull's passed away, and they are now like freaking out. And I guess there's some mean, horrible socks that say things like "Ghost of Bull" or whatever. Like, I think that shit is bullshit. Don't do that. But yeah, it's unfortunate he did pass away.
Christmas.
But at Christmas time, it was just weird. And he had apologized to a lot of people before he passed away, which is why a lot of people got worried because, like that's something some people do when they think that they're not going to be there anymore. And so, nobody really knows, what's going on there. But it's really sad that he passed away, and I can see why, if somebody's digging backwards, why Bull wouldn't take too much of a front seat, only because, people don't focus in on the producers. Oftentimes they focus in on the talking heads, right? So.
How the fuck? How the fuck?
I don't have to. They don't have to watch. They don't have to be a member. They don't have to subscribe.
Are you going to make a video about every single person that had Warden on? Are you going to make a video about Warden? Because you kind of did, but you labeled it Steve. It's really funny. That's really, really similar to the thing that Fiona did. That's really, really similar to, Steve McRae, Rape Apologetics 101. But I was not calling Steve a rape apologist. Oh, I just went way off. That wasn't Scottish at all.
No, it wasn't.
Arguments are hard. Arguments are real hard for this cunt. Yeah.
Fiona, you have a link if you want to join and answer that. I think that's the most that she does towards you, though, is she makes a very bad Scott accent.
She just hates it that you had a good, solid argument that pwned the fuck out of Steve.
Yeah.
That's all. She's just mad. So is Reds.
Fire me, I'm fired. All right.
They don't have to do anything. But my position on how I run my channel
is that
I don't have the only content creator like that. There are other content creators that are exactly the same. They've taken that model. That's the model that we've gone by. It may not work for you. Matter of fact, you might try that, and it might be detrimental to your channel.
I feel like, right? That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're agreeing. So you both agree. Good job. He's agreeing with you.
No, it's not for everybody. Trust me.
I understand. It's a different standard. I'm just saying different standard.
Yeah, exactly. It's not for everybody.
And Intrigued Line in the live chat brings up a very good point. She says, Savage Minnow, Oria Unicornus, Steve McRae, does Savage know that NSS was predicated upon bold ideas are righteous, unique perspectives are gospel, and strong opinions are sacred? So yeah, that's what NSS is about, and that's what Steve is continuing on his channel. So that's where.
Yeah, and I appreciate. And I said in my video, literally, I talked about that, and I said this is one thing I really liked, and
Okay, she's almost at peak.
Peak Cheshire.
Look at her face.
Welcome aboard, Fiona.
Shut the fuck
up. On a scale from 1 to 10, how good was that Scottish accent?
Absolutely ridiculous. Even Gus manages a better Scottish accent. Listen, is anybody surprised that a Scottish person that has lived all but 3 years of their life in Scotland would speak with a Scottish accent?
Amazing, huh?
I'd rather be a person with a thick accent than a thick person with an accent.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I just
there's not much to say.
You're racist. And and I think I addressed this the other night. I was very careful in how I titled my video because I didn't want to entitle it Steve McCrae, Rape Apologist, because I didn't think I could justify that claim. And that's why I went with Rape Apologetics 101. And everybody knows what 101 means. It means a basic lesson. So this was a basic lesson in rape apologetics for Steve, and it was highlighting the rape apologetic that he had fallen into. And I thought he'd fallen into it accidentally in his inability to ever admit he was wrong about anything. I actually honestly believe that. And that's why if you actually watch the video, not once do I say that he's a rape apologist. I don't say that.
Mm-hmm.
I did agonize over that video title and whether I should actually use that term in the video, and I decided I couldn't justify it. It couldn't be justified at the time. But here's the interesting thing. She's been talking about the calumny and obloquy video and that people should go and watch it. And it's a video made by Reds and Chesh, all about why I'm wrong to be calling Steve a rape apologist, totally oblivious to the fact that the one thing I didn't do was call him a rape apologist. They missed that completely. They didn't notice that. They were so eager to make a video and trash me and call me names and whiffle on about dicks of logic and all the rest of it, that they missed the crucial point that I'd never called him a rape apologist. Sucks that you missed it, Chesh. I gave you all an out when I made that video, and it sailed right over your head, plop, onto the wall.
And now look what has happened. Everybody
Yeah.
thinks Steve is a rape apologist. How did that happen?
Yeah.
Because you guys had no argument.
Because you put out a video about why somebody was wrong to call him a rape apologist when they hadn't even called him a rape apologist. And now he's stuck with that label, thanks to you and Reds and your efforts in that video. Well done, Chesh. You seem to fuck over everybody you go anywhere near. And on mute.
I really thought that it was a great idea.
So you like that people had controversial guests on, and you like the concept, except in this one case.
Yeah, I really appreciated that.
And by the way, it was a great idea, and it got popular because I was the one having the guests and the conversations and the topics. And I modeled the Non Sequitur show after that.
And I even said that. I said that in my video about Kyle.
And he didn't. And by the way, I talked him into having a live chat. He didn't want the live chat either. These were my ideas. Okay. But I never delete a video because I changed my position on something. I always leave something there for the record. Anything I always delete.
Felix really annoyed.
Probably because somebody had asked me to, or I don't want to have copyrighted.
How many more tweets are left, Steve?
Okay, she says the ones with Warden reference to him. I've never deleted any of those. Yeah, but so I appreciate your praise, but you're just wrong. I've never deleted any of those videos. If you know one, let me know, because it may have been unintentional. I did actually once delete a video unintentionally.
Savage, you're not going to force someone to say something.
Yeah, that's not how it works. You don't get to dictate the way other people communicate. You can ask questions, you can say you're unclear, but you're talking about two different things. You're asking Steve to condemn him on the whole as a human being, to say that no, he's just a piece of shit. But the thing is that as you've acknowledged, somebody who's a felon can be spoken to in one aspect and be shitty in another aspect. Warden, and I will say again, Warden, whether he is guilty or not, because he was found guilty, and whether he is found guilty or not in the future, in my personal experience with the guy, has been kinder to me and more honest to me than the people in your fucking Discord, in your side chat, you, and the people who are in your, like the racist people that are in your fucking comment section. So
Once again, for like the third or fourth time, the rapist was kinder to me than the random commenter. The rapist, didn't leave the toilet seat up. Like, what the fuck? Like,
That's her argument. That
That's
is
her
the
argument.
best argument they've come up with out of all the narratives they've spun. This is the best one.
yeah,
Oh,
and they
well.
got it from Sweet Heathen when Sweet Heathen said
Yeah.
she'd rather be in a room with David Earl Warden than Nate Brody in that
Well,
shade there.
That wasn't even sweet. That was a question posed to her by
Oh,
Steve.
yeah, it was set up, right? Right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Good job. Yeah, it's stupid.
Well
like,
done, you. Ugh.
It doesn't make any sense.
62.
Well, I can say, hey, in this aspect, Warden's not a piece of shit. But context doesn't matter for you. Like you
He's
said
a filthy
later on in this
fucking
video, it doesn't matter. It
rapist,
doesn't
and he
even
should
matter.
probably be dead.
Well, it doesn't matter to you because you don't care.
He's a filthy fucking rapist.
You don't care about whether or not somebody ought to be treated fairly. You don't care whether or not somebody who is being platformed or
Are we done yet?
and your Discord is public, I can publicly go and see who's sending you links. But yeah, how do you verify your sources? What
Filthy rapist who was nice to
primary
you.
source were you talking to? Because the only option is Kyle by process of elimination.
And
And
you are easily impressed.
are you going to hold by your own standard?
Could I interject something
Feel
here
like
if you don't
feel like
mind,
not.
ladies?
Feel like you're already.
She said that Warden's been nicer to her because I mean he you know he's never told her whatever it is, and he's never told her lies. He's never lied to her. Yes, he has. That's how they got into this mess, because Warden lied to them.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jesh.
He intentionally conflated the whole Romeo and Juliet thing, right?
He did. He mixed up two separate cases. So he lied to them from the outset. And I remember the night when Steve was busy denying that he'd ever claimed that the victim was only 17. But that is a lie that Warden had told the auditors. And it was the lie he told Steve in the first place. And it was on Twitter. And Steve is busy saying, I never claimed the victim was only 17. And at the exact same moment, Cheshire was tweeting out, yeah, but he only said he was 17 at first, but he corrected himself. And that was when Steve went block and completely blocked me because Chesh busted him in a lie. But the fact is that it was Warden lying to them, using the same lies that he used with the auditors that got them into this mess in the first place. So,
And it's just so funny watching them 2 years later spinning, flapping around, dancing. Keep dancing. They are hilarious, the lengths they will go to defend Steve. This is why we call you a cult. This is it. They're little cultists.
Excuse me. Sorry, that was loud. I tried to mute, but I'm trying to move this into 1 second. I have too many browsers. Too many browsers. 1 second here. Okay. Bring it over here. There we go. All right. Stuff that Chesh does right here.
If it's unfortunate, but if a victim wants to be heard, they need to be public about it a lot of the time, because a lot of police records are public, especially depending on where you live. And it's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. And so if you bring your victimhood up for conversation, it's going to be scrutinized, because by bringing it up, you're asking people to scrutinize about it. So your re-victimization of people talking about this in KJ's case is because she wants to be. She wants to be the victim. She wants to be the victim. She wants to be the victim.
That's a clip from Minnesota to Sobriety's video.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's all you really need to know about her, how serious she takes things like that. She thought it was really a great move to read Katie Joy's essay report like at story time. Like it's like this is a good thing.
Yep. And they started doing it again the minute Steve's NDA was up. Isn't that weird? Of course, Steve didn't do it himself. His cult member did. Yeah. And his other cult member did. They teach ethics and morality and integrity.
Yeah, they're so full of integrity.
That's how a cult works. They have something to teach you. They have something to give you and offer you to make yourselves lives better. If you just follow the 4 C's on YouTube. YouTube.
The YouTube
You follow
4
the
Cs.
greasy-haired fucker who lives in a closet. Yeah. Who thinks that a YouTube channel gets his daughter automatic, like, you know, education, benefits for life. It's entitled to him. These are the type of people that we have here before us, and their supporters, and their cult members.
Yeah.
Victims that are followers of mine that get re-victimized every time this subject gets brought up. You know, I don't do virtual signaling, and this is the whole point. I don't.
He's the
it's
most
not my thing.
astronomically
He doesn't do
ethical.
virtual
As opposed to
signaling.
actions.
He's
My
about
actions, I
to
have
tell
him on
you
my
how
thing.
he dated a
I have
rape
one-on-ones.
victim.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all that needs to be fucking
But he
done.
doesn't do virtue
At that point, it's
signaling.
over. All these other people, they can
Astronomically
fuck off.
ethical.
I don't care about them. I don't watch them. I don't give a shit what the hell they say. They're running this bizarre narrative just to try to smear me. People know this. It's backfired on them tremendously over the long term because people have seen how they manipulate things, and when they say, "Well, you call him an honorable man," they know damn well I was talking about how he conducted the audits because that was the topic of discussion, right?
Yeah,
So,
that's
I
what
mean,
it was.
yeah, of course. I mean, they manipulate these things. I'm done with that topic. I don't ever want to talk about it because it's not important.
No
There's
wonder.
so many other fucking things of interest to me.
It's not important.
Right? I don't give a
Of course
shit.
you don't want to
it
talk
in
about
DMs and Discord.
Let
and your
EKC
channel,
talk
and you
about
knock yourself the fuck out. I don't care. But don't bring it to my
short,
doorstep.
Let
yes,
EKC talk about it
Steve is
for
right.
me.
In short, don't make us, don't ask us to participate in your re-victimization and weaponizing of victims.
Yeah, of course.
We don't want any part of it.
Wait, did you listen to Cheshire just a moment ago?
Right.
Don't drag
Yep.
us.
Right, but don't drag
What
me
did she
into
say?
it.
No right to
Right.
drag us into it.
I'm very much against
Yeah.
rape. I've dated
Don't drag
people
me
that are
into
victims
it.
of rape. Okay, I mean,
There
it's
it
a very
goes.
sensitive subject
I
for me
don't
because I
virtue
understand
signal.
what can happen with people when they have this types of PTSD. I've lived through living with people with PTSD from this kind of stuff. I've
Right.
dealt with it. It's a very serious issue.
Mm-hmm. How
So
serious
serious that he's like, meh.
So serious is it that this cult is going to use freaking fair game tactics on the person who exposed the truth about this rapist?
So serious. Have you seen his tweet from today?
No.
Nope.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, is it the one that Nate tweeted out? That was crazy.
No, it's the one that was tweeted out by Soka.
Oh.
Which says, you know what Warden doesn't do? Share private messages, nor troll people for years. That's how seriously he takes rape. Sharing private messages is worse than having raped women at gunpoint.
No, seriously, that's, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He can't stop. He can't stop hitting himself. And the rest of their team, they can't stop it either. And it's just kind of remarkable and awesome to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I sat open mouthed for a full half minute when I read that today, and then I just dissolved into laughter at the sheer idiocy of that comment. And did he try it out in his head before he tweeted it?
No, he never does. I've known Steve's been a locale since before you guys, you know. I watched his Twitter for a couple of weeks, and I was just like, this guy is a cow. Oh, my God. He's like the next Brett Keane. That's what I said.
Yeah. I think it's bullshit about the case. I have the documents. I know damn well who released with them, with their own spin. Amazed at how little critical thinking some people have. I'd rather side on the honor and ethical side.
Right.
That's not virtue signaling at all.
I'd rather.
But if you want to not
side.
be if you don't want to be ethical, you can believe something other than what I believe. You know, it's a very convoluted story. He believes that guy because the woman has a very convoluted story, and his story is far more credible. Far more credible.
Cheers.
Remember, the innocent people get fucked all the time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sokka did. And not only that, Lauren, those messages that Earl David Warden produced from Teresa R. were faked. He faked them. He used one of those online programs. The cult bought it, hook, line, and sinker. Went and attacked Teresa in the live chat of Modern Day Debate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
True. That happened.
Yep. So, on behalf of a EDW. Interesting how that works, right?
For his honor.
Yeah, because his honor matters. So, here's the tweet that you were mentioning. You know what,
I'm
Warden?
going to be sharing some private messages between me and Warden soon, so...
You know what Warden doesn't do? He shares private messages or troll people for years. No, he has terrorized people for years. And he has shown private messages. There are videos of him showing private messages. So that's cute, Steve. Also, Sokka says, you know what he does do? Literally sexually assaulted a woman at gunpoint. And then he links this video here. Is it showing? Let me see if it shows. Oh.
Yep. And this is the person Steve tells everybody to go talk to. Go talk to him. Go on. Go talk to this pathologically lying scumbag rapist.
Yeah, I don't want to... he shows the video of him showing DMs, by the way. But I don't want to show it on here, so...
I wouldn't, because they're faked.
Yeah, yeah.
Warden is a scumbag, and he faked those messages using an online tool. Yeah.
But yeah, you can click that on Sokka's thing too. But yeah, it's crazy. Like it's just it's one of those things where
he threatened to sue me for hundreds of thousands of dollars because I had a 2-minute clip of him up on talking to detectives on my channel. He did it over a year after it was up, so I don't know how he found it. But yeah, my channel was taken down for a bit. I couldn't stream on it right at the time when I wanted to stream. And as a result of that, he and I had some email exchanges. So yeah, he thought he could threaten me. It was funny.
Yeah. So, we're really at the end of the Cheshire stream.
We made it, guys. We made it through.
I feel like that's enough of that. So,
and Savage Minnows stayed with us. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sorry for the booming. A lot of I have my own sound effect issue sometimes, but that was actually Cheshire hitting the mic and the thing. So I apologize. I never really noticed it was a thing until I'm running it through this mic and it amplifies it, and it's like, the audience is listening each time. I'm like, wow, okay. No, I can't unhear it.
One of the cultists has joined Savage Minnows Discord. Yeah, they only come in one at a time, I guess. So there won't be any peace. I always have to have one person in there spying on us. That's fun.
Ooh, I think Amanya said something like, we altered our behavior because she's there. And I'm like, no, this is me. like nothing's changed. What's up? Man, thank goodness Manya was there. Who knows what would have happened? We've been doing like parkour or something like, you know.
You have to alter your behavior because the rules are now that you are respectful and polite when interacting with people. Oh no, you won't be able to run around being an idiot like when Manya was in there. So the rules have changed. Tread carefully, Helios.
Or just answer everybody by spamming memes. Or the same meme again and again and again.
Yeah, I regret nothing. I always see that meme from her. I regret nothing. All right, any final thoughts from folks? Fiona, any final thoughts?
I'm not really very sure. I mean, this is the first time I've actually seen that stream. And the only thing that really struck me was when she got very, shall we say, animated towards the end. And I found that disturbing on a number of levels. But the only thing that sort of leapt out at me was the question, why is she getting so animated? And I think it's because she wasn't there for the exchange. She's jealous.
Yeah, she's mad. And she didn't have control over the narrative, right? So like it's upsetting.
Mostly, not entirely.
Except I did say, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I have no respect for her. None.
Oh, Manya?
Zero.
Yeah.
Oh, Manya, yeah. Manya's
yeah, in Discord.
Come on,
yeah,
Manya's
yeah.
Troll.
Yeah, we
She's a
didn't.
Desperate
we
troll.
didn't go too hard on Manya just because like Manya will break real easy. So like it was just like, you know, here's a rebuttal. Here's a rebuttal. And then we'd get like a gift back. It's like, oh, you're so smart, Manya. You got us.
I kind of feel sorry for people that have to be in the position that Manya has chosen to be in. It's sad for them, but that's where they want to be. They're giving their money, they're giving their time, they're giving their personal integrity to this man and Cheshire. And that's, you got to feel sorry for them. Pity is the worst thing you can feel for someone, and I really do pity Manya and Cheshire.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to play us out and appreciate you too, as always.
Thank you for the stream. Thank you, live chats.
Thank you, live chat.
Everybody
Special.
go subscribe to Tirar. I love him. He's so nice.
Yeah.
Great.
All right, we're going to play a fun song, and this is from Everything Nice's channel. And I'm going to hide you ladies. Doop, doop. And I'm going to say to the live chat, good night. Appreciate you guys coming in, as always. Make sure that you have fun on the internet. This was a little more of a chore, I think, than usual for some reason getting through this. So appreciate you bearing with us. I am going to now press the wrong button, apparently. I'm going to now change my thing, and we're going to play a song on the way out. It's a little Irish jig here. What we do with the drunken sailor.
All here, might as well get it started. We have the wonderful Cheshire. Hello, Cheshire. She's all decked to the nines too for you guys tonight. Look at this.
Hello. This is not to the nines, but I appreciate the sentiment.
8.5. You're solid 8. We'll give you that.